When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 9.
Fade. Good fade. So no update. No hand motions from Jay. He made fun of me.
Oh, he's probably going to give you hand motions
after the show. And then no fade. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Hi, hello. How are you? It is a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. It is a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. What is so great about today? Well, let me start. I have nothing. I don't know. It's cooler.
Much cooler.
Yesterday sucked.
It was warm.
You love it. This is what you were begging for all winter.
I golfed in yesterday's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Ew. How'd that go?
Moist?
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah.
Today's high is just 85.
Sweet spot.
It's give me
too warm?
It is,
especially compared to what we've been. It's going to feel great.
It's going to feel wonderful.
Yeah.
Because we are you
can go in your hot pool.
Hot pool. It's cooled down a little bit. Okay. I think we figured that out. But I look fine. Okay. I don't care what you guys. I look fine.
Sometimes you come in and I go, wow, your hair looks great.
Yeah. Sometimes, I just woke. This is why it's really good. This is like, whether you guys know it or not, it's a super sore spot for me, super sensitive spot, because I have ever since I was like 6 and I had no control over my hair. I've never grown my hair out, not once. Never.
What's the longest hair you've ever had?
Other than what like pre little kid, because when I was a little kid, my mom did. It's like what I did with my son when we made him in a little ponytail. Like, we had. Yeah. Like once I was able to have any say, always short. Can't handle it. It's too hot. It itches. I don't like sleeping on it.
Yeah.
It sounds like something else.
It's like wearing a helmet, right? Don't like it. And my mom yells at me all the time, like, you have a head of hair. You should grow it out. Grow it out. When we had Avery, I actually went through this just crazy. I lost my mind. I bleached my hair, straight bleached my hair.
Yeah.
And I grew it enough to where I could barely put it into like a little, not a ponytail, but like a little nub.
Yeah.
Up top. That was about as long as I grew it. And one of the reasons, many reasons why I don't grow it out is because there's this in between. There's in between when it's short and coiffed and nice, and when it's longer, which is where I'm at right now.
I was gonna say, I think we're in that stage.
So get up this morning, shower. I'm just sitting in front of the mirror, I just give it a
Contemplating life.
Yeah, pretty much. Listening to the dog snore. And I go, you know what? I'm not touching it. Throw a little tiny bit of hairspray. I'm just going to roll in. No one will notice.
Hey, you know what else I'll say?
What?
You have zero gray hair, huh?
Did you just punch the monitor?
No.
Yeah,
no,
you don't gray.
A little bit of gray.
I mean, it's not very visible.
No, it's not. Like, I have to look
Like,
for it.
given your age, like, no, this is a compliment. Most people have, like,
I would
probably
agree.
half a head of hair
Yeah.
gray. Do you
Well,
bleach it?
Or
do you color it?
No, I promise you. No, I don't.
There's no just for men.
I swear to God, no.
That's good.
Because my goatee is gray.
Okay, great. And you can see it from here. Like,
Yeah,
It's not full gray. But
And then not to get too, whatever, but like I have gray chest hairs.
Yeah,
That's
buddy.
new.
Also, I was going to point out that Niners hat up there, I think, is either never been worn or lightly worn.
No, we wore it the day I guess wore it.
Oh, so it's your hat. Why don't you put that
Oh,
on?
Brian. I have hats in the car
Oh,
that I'll probably put on during
Jay
the
really
break.
wants you to put a hat on.
it's just bothering me.
What specifically is bothering you?
I think it's that with the A's polo.
Yeah, I'm showing my support today.
Spring training
I
staff.
got a shoe.
But I like that it's spring training staff.
Well, were you?
I wasn't on that.
You weren't on that
I didn't
one?
get the spring training
Yeah.
staff.
I don't know why. It just seems like that particular length of hair, you look like you snuck into the wife's bourbon. I don't know why. I just get
hammered.
that. Yeah, I get that hammered uncle vibe. I
Uncle?
think that's what's bothering me.
Drunk uncle.
Yeah,
I prefer uncle. Like I look like a uncle. Yeah, I mean, now you got me looking at the YouTube page. Christ, I don't know. I woke up. I took time to get ready. I did the thing.
Everything else is fine.
And the other problem too is that like I have been accused for most of my life of having a receding hairline because I have
Where?
because I have very high wings.
Oh no.
So and I always say no. This has been I've had this my whole life.
That
Like,
you can't accept. That's not fair.
Yeah, right. No,
that's
there's no
terrible.
reception. Receding.
Jay and I know.
As a receiver, I can tell you, you're
Right,
not
right.
suffering.
That's what I'm saying. So like one of the things is like, well, just because I have a really long ass head, and I've been blessed with that, or should I say curse, where my head grows this way.
Uh-huh.
So part of the thought process would be
I don't think Jason he's caught on to how he sounds right now, but that's fine.
So part of the thing too is that if I cover my forehead with hair, then it would somehow not elongate my face. So
Correct. I'm not saying. I think when you go with the short, well coiffed haircut, like it's perfect. Don't get away from that. Even if Barb Michael Mom wants you to.
Yeah,
no.
basically.
But look at this. You're, to use Jay's term, at your age,
Right.
no graying, full head of hair.
Yeah.
You've made it.
Yeah.
No graying, full head of hair, but yet reduce the hair and I look drunk.
No. You adding hair makes you look drunk. Reduce the hair, you look like a good stand-up father.
Oh, wow, now he's a bad dad.
All right.
No, I said drunk uncle, not bad dad.
Now use your mind's eye. Now, what if we fast forwarded a few months?
Okay.
What if I grew the hair down to like here? Just like shoulder length, like because it'll start curling a little bit.
I will give you my family law attorney.
Because of the divorce I'm going to get?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, it's not like I'm offering a ton on the plate to her to begin with. It's not like I'm going to drop from Brad Pitt to something.
It's not true.
I'm not a handsome
You were
man.
able to get her River Cats tickets. You got things going for you.
Look, I'm very clear on how I got married. I got her hammered. That was not difficult. Get her hammered, feed and make laugh. Yeah, feed. You got to feed her. Cheese. A lot of cheese. Just saying. I probably should do some sort of self-help for guys that aren't handsome on how to,
outkick your coverage.
Right. And it really is simple. For my wife, it's feed her and make her laugh, which is not hard.
And bourbon.
And bourbon.
And eggs.
Yeah.
Has the bourbon gone up in price though over the years? Is that part of the package? Like started out with like the $10 bottle now and the $40.
No, now she's getting into specialty.
Yeah.
And is more being consumed or is it the same amount?
Not that we
You know,
should probably be asking that.
Depends on the week. Depends on what's going on that week, what's happening.
Yeah.
Last night I made everybody watch my favorite. There's a
History.
The History Channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
You pay for it for a
Yes,
reason.
$4.99. So we got through the first 3 presidents. I told them we'll do 3 presidents at a time. So we got through GW.
Look at you, the educator.
That's what I tried. I enjoy watching. I want my children to watch this stuff.
USA versus Puerto Rico was on last night.
If I was Carmichael Dave's son, it's like, we're going to watch the next 3 presidents.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, Mason's going to school. Oh, did you watch the game last night? No,
No.
my dad made me watch Jeopardy and the first 3
That's when
presidents on History Channel.
That's when I fake my death.
Yeah, well, but Avery's sitting there being sly under the blanket,
Nice.
covered by the dog on her phone, and I had to stop her from that. So we get through Thomas Jefferson,
No
right?
electronics during Jefferson.
That's exactly right. And then my wife gets the remote. You know where she goes? SWAT.
Jesus. Yes.
Yes.
We're watching SWAT. So I go outside, and anytime I come in, she's watching stuff. She pauses it because I'll make fun of it. And then she started watching the show. I took a picture, guys. I know we got a break. I took a picture. It's fun. I just had to go to bed. The name of the show, and we really need this writer strike to end. The name of the show is Mother, May I Murder? What?
Yes.
Okay,
How about no?
honestly, the amount of arguments in the marriage, how many of them are based around TV percentage-wise about what to watch?
Over the last couple months, because this is a thing that's been stuck in my butt, I'm telling you, probably 80%.
Ooh.
Where I go, you're feeding our children trash every night. You're watching Mother May I Murder or Dirty Butts. What's the show? Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
And,
But I feel like they're sitting around the couch for that. They're not for the 3 presidents.
100%.
Meanwhile, you're paying for them to watch John Adams,
That's
and nobody appreciates you.
And they're on their electronics.
And we can wrap this all up in a bow and take a break here. Remember yesterday when I said my parents were like, "You want braces?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Okay." I can't just be like, "Watch the presidents." No, they don't want to.
Nope.
But they need to. They need to.
Jason, imagine going to school and coming home. Your dad wanted you to sit down and watch 3 presidents on the History Channel.
I'm going to tell you something. It's a really cool thing. It's like 10 minutes per president. They give you all kinds of. Did you know George Washington was a great dancer and a really wonderful interior decorator?
I don't think we can prove that.
Also, pretty sure that's George Washington Carver. We got to go to break.
Yes.
We'll take a break. When we
Great
come back,
answer.
we'll lead it off. The Giants beat the Angels. The men took on Puerto Rico in basketball, and that was neat. There was a stupid suspension in baseball. We'll talk about that. And apparently, my hair is stupid. We'll get to that leading off next.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Boot Barn is committed to supporting those who uphold the Western way of life. Denim plays a major role as a robust material that holds strong in a rugged environment. Since 1947, the Wrangler Authentic Western jeans have brought long-lasting denim to all who embrace the cowboy lifestyle. Boot Barn is proud to support this bold legacy, one that's just as iconic now as it was then. Wrangler at Boot Barn.
Where are you on your financial journey? Wherever it is, Safe Credit Union has a checking account made just for you. Jason Ross here, and I can tell you with 4 different safe checking account options, one is sure to fit your needs. And with easy, secure, and personalized service to early paydays, overdraft protection, and exclusive members-only perks, safe checking accounts truly put you and your financial future first. Find a safe checking account you will love at safecu.org/checking. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
3-2 pitch. He struck it out swinging. 101 miles an hour, a cutter, and Camilo Doval. Well, some managers worry about whether the closer will have the regular jolt of adrenaline that he gets in a save opportunity when it's a non-save opportunity. And I think Doval seems to thrive, or did tonight anyway, save opportunity or not.
Did you know this? In all of history, the only president to not live in Washington was Washington.
Ironic.
Yeah,
Was he hanging with the cherry tree?
He basically was trying to do a thing, and he offered up the nation's capital to Jefferson. That's why it was in Virginia, and it was right by George Washington's house. So he like micromanaged everything, including the president's mansion.
Doesn't sound very patriotic to me.
He didn't live there.
So he Airbnb'd the White House?
Yeah, he basically lived in his own place, and while they were building the White House. How about that?
Wow.
The only one. It's called the City of Washington, and then they changed it, and still nobody can explain why it's a District of Columbia.
Can't wait till Mason tells his friends about that.
He's going to go to school and he's going to be the coolest kid in school.
Yeah, he is.
That was the voice of John Miller.
Okay, if your kid gets bullied at school, you're going to feel so bad.
Yeah, you know what? That was the voice of John Miller. The Giants went 8-3. Funny thing about John Miller is a Giant in part because of our number 3 story today. Mm-hmm. He was fired by the Orioles back in the 80s, I think it was 90s, mid 90s. Thank you. And anyways, we'll get to that in a second. Giants beat the Angels, and the Angels still, I believe, have yet to win. Yeah.
Ever.
Not that I'm keeping track, but they're 0-7 since the trade deadline.
And this one involved a blown game. Just, I honest to God, if Artie Moreno and the Angels all had a secret meeting with baseball Jesus and they said, we'll have you win a World Series in the next 10 years, but you have to, like, remember Brewster's Millions? He had to spend $30 million, but he couldn't tell anyone.
Right.
What if their job is to guarantee Shohei Otani will leave, but they can't do anything overt? So they go out and they like actually make it look like they're trying to improve. And then not only do they not win, but it's just the ways in which they lose.
Yeah.
They had a 3-2 lead going into the 9th, and the Giants put up a 6 spot in the top of the 9th. And you just got to think Shohei Otani is he's just not a happy camper.
No way, Otani.
Can't be no way, Otani. Exactly. He can't be a happy camper. The Giants are happy. Finally, they got
the tough A's out of their schedule.
Got the A's out of their schedule and get to move on to the Angels.
Yeah.
The worst A team. So there you go. Giants win, wild card, fun stuff.
Yeah.
And, they keep going on their series, and that'll be fun and exciting, especially if they keep doing that. But is it possible for Shohei Otani just to cross clubhouses and just sign with the Giants now?
No, finish second.
No, I can't do that. Okay. All right, number 2.
Cut number 2.
Impressive second half from Team USA as they finish off Puerto Rico to start their showcase run, 117-74 the final.
Do we care at all about this for reasons other than Keegan Murray's in it and we're jonesing for basketball? Like, I'm honestly asking, is there like
Keegan Murray's not really in it?
He's in
he's on the practice squad.
Right, yeah. He's involved tangentially.
No, you know when we care? If they lose.
Jason's got a point.
It's like, I mean, it was a fun game. It actually was close for a while. Then they blew them out in the second half. But if they lose, then it's like, we need to redo Team USA. Where are all the stars? But they won. They won easily.
I guess it's really a lose neutral situation.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. What's the win here? They win they were supposed to.
They won by 40. Okay, well,
great.
won by 50.
Yeah, that's neat. But then if they
Why
lose,
was it Curry and LeBron playing?
Now, if they lose, is it because they're woke? I'm just trying to keep score.
Yeah, they were taking pictures, celebrating a little bit too much in Vegas.
Just unbelievable. You know, just don't even come back. Just going back to Shohei Otani real quick. I'd like to introduce you to PR man extraordinaire and Rockland native Logan Webb. I think there's a little recruiting going on here.
Obviously, Otani gets a lot of attention for his power and his pitching, but I mean, do you feel like his speed goes a little underappreciated sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, that guy's one of a kind. He's I think he's the most talented baseball player of all time. He almost killed me in the 6th inning with that ball up the middle, which he almost killed me in spring training too. I don't know.
We'll play the rest.
Shohei Otani attempted murder?
Yes.
Why would the Giants want him?
I don't know. Yeah, he's just trying to kill people.
It's like literally trying to kill your other. Maybe he doesn't want Logan Webb to take all the shine when Otani's a Giant next year on the mound.
Also, apparently there's beef now between Whitey Gleason, our midday host with Chris Watkins, and Logan Webb, because you heard Logan say he's the most talented baseball player of all time. Whitey does not believe that.
Yeah. Why do you think he's a fraud? I think he called him a fraud.
Whitey came in really hot with that take too.
He did.
At first, I'm like, oh, he's just doing a thing. And I'm like, oh no, he's not here for this. Otani's the greatest.
Why? And Whitey's a baseball guy.
I know.
Really surprises me. I wonder what Kreidler thinks. I have a question for Kreidler.
I have lots of questions for Kreidler.
That's one, because I wonder if Kreidler disagrees. I mean, Kreidler's smart, so he probably does.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying, that's the only take. There's no other take. Is there another take? Is there another take other than Otani?
You wouldn't say this if it was later in the show.
True.
And people were.
Whitey's always listening.
I know. Hopefully not this early. He probably is. Number 3.
Cut number 3.
Let me just say one thing to Baltimore Orioles management. You draped yourself in humiliation when you fired John Miller, and you're doing it again. And if you don't want Kevin Brown, there are 29 other teams who do. It's a horrendous decision by the Orioles. I don't know what they were thinking, but they've gotten exactly the reaction that they deserve. And it's just a shame because the Orioles are playing so well, and now they've diverted attention from that.
Hey, yeah.
That was Mets announcer. A lot of people were speaking out on this.
A lot of people, and I love it. I love that they are. That's Gary Cohen from the Mets, longtime announcer there. Great voice, great announcer. A lot of we have audio from Michael Kay, Yankees announcer, and a few others. We'll give you more of the background here later, but Kevin Brown, no, not that Kevin Brown, not pitcher Kevin Brown, not $105 million Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown is a young, very talented broadcaster, and he's your play-by-play guy for the Orioles. He was reading a thing pregame. A graphic comes up. I'll be very honest. When I saw the tweet about, he was suspended from awful announcing and all that, I watched the clip 3 times before I read the comments because I'm like, where's the swear word?
Yeah.
Well, first I was looking for a racial slur.
Sure.
That's just how you're trained now. You
look, climate.
Where is this? Did he try to be funny?
Right.
Oh God, what is this? And I completely missed it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the right clip.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I
go back and I watch it again, and I'm like a surgeon. Nothing. Then I start reading the comments. He was suspended by the now owner. So Peter Angelos is a longtime owner of the Orioles, and he went through the same thing with John Miller back in the day. And John was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to the Giants." So, but Peter Angelos, I guess I shouldn't have blamed him, nor should anybody else. He's been incapacitated for like a few
like
years.
94,
yeah,
I think. Yeah,
there's lawsuits going on between him and his sons and his wife, and it's a crazy rabbit hole I went down. But his one son, it's not Lewis, but the other one, Freddie Angelos, apparently thought that talking about the Orioles' past
struggles a bit with the Rays
against the Rays on the broadcast was not orange and black enough.
And it wasn't even like digging the shovel. It was like surface, like they've lost 7 of 10.
Yeah.
Like, it was like all factual, honestly.
And there was no opinion.
And not even like, and they blew 3 of the game. Like it was just, they lost like 7 of 10 or whatever it was.
And like the graphics, like tough time in the trop,
But today's a new day. And it was I thought it turned more, like it's been a good year. And you're going, what? This can't be the clip.
It gets grosser and grosser because he was pulled off the TV broadcast, but then did a radio broadcast. And I guess the reason he did the radio broadcast is because the owner also mandated that he want all team personnel in Orioles gear for every game. And the radio guy wasn't wearing Orioles gear, I guess. So Kevin Brown slides in to do that. And then he hasn't been on since like late July. And just naturally, this is a look. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is a scary thing. Like communism is coming. Like it's baseball. But I don't know if you thought this, Jason. The first thing I thought of is, thank God for the Maloofs and Vivek and everyone we've had, because I cannot imagine having covered this team for 16 years during that drought. Can you imagine, really tough road trip for the Kings. When are they going to turn it around? Fired.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
say only positives. What?
There's no.
Which the Orioles have nothing but, and he wasn't even, oh man, it was.
It's a bad look.
Terrible look.
It's a bad look. I'm sure Rob Manfred's going to step in.
Oh yeah, that's what he's known for.
And honest to God, it's almost like, look.
Can we sell the team chants for the Orioles?
That's one of the things I thought, but it's always fun. Like when we've had, it's always fun when people try to tell you what to do with your job and how to feed your family.
Yeah.
And so I get it. But I think a great situation, it sure would be nice. I'd love to see the whole Oriole broadcast team, radio and TV, just walk off the job until Brown's back. Problem is that you're not going to hold up a CEO like that who's a billionaire. He's just going to replace them all and whatever. But it's stupid. I'd like to see the Orioles fan. I can tell you this right now. If that happened to any of our guys, fan boycott. It's picketing. It's just stupid. We'll have more on that a little bit later. We'll take a break. When we come back, the suspensions come down for the White Sox and Indians brawl. Tough week for Tim Anderson, man. Ejections last night for your Yankees. And let's check in on Carlos Rodon, former Giant. We'll do that. Safer out next.
Will Christian McCaffrey lead the NFL in rushing? Can Sacramento's own Eric Armstead bring his game to another level?
Prescott back steps up in the pocket. He gets sacked. Back on the 15-yard line. Get in my belly!
Get in my
says
belly!
Eric Armstead.
Will rookie Jake Moody pick up where veteran kicker Ravi Gould left off? Find out on Whitey and Watkins every day at 11 a.m. during the 49ers Focus on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants head into the top of the ninth last night against the Angels down, but a big hit from Patrick Bailey helped propel the G-men to an 8-3 victory. The Angels have now lost 7 straight since the trade deadline. Of course, the Giants getting their first win since a two-game series loss at the hands of the A's over the weekend at the Oakland Coliseum. Will Brock Purdy be appearing in the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? You can read more about that right now at SactownSports.com. And, of course, our 49ers training camp coverage on Sactown Sports is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Power Business Technology, call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to PowerCopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Time for Safe or Out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's Safe or Out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
That first segment was a lot of bullying, says Paul on the chat. I agree with Paul. A lot of bullying, guys. From you to me. Also, someone wants to know how I could be a lifelong Kings fan if the Kings didn't move here till 85. It's always such a weird question. I was a little kid when they moved here. That's being
I hate that.
It's like this gatekeeping. You can't say you're a lifelong fan. You were born.
Well, technically, you were 10 years old when they moved here, and your life starts the moment you're born. So
Also,
it's
not 10, was younger. Like, I was a little kid. Yeah, do the math.
Yeah, I think I'm almost there.
Almost, but not quite. Safer out question why.
Oh, boy. The White Sox, their shortstop, Tim Anderson, was suspended 6 games. And Guardians third baseman Jose Ramirez was suspended 3 games.
Yeah, he was.
For their part in a Saturday evening brawl. Safer out. The punishments fit the crime.
That's about right. But they're position players, so that's actual games. And I do think Anderson should have been suspended more than Ramirez, even though Ramirez landed the punch. It was after Anderson initiated the fight and threw at least 2, if not 3, overhand rights. At some point, you have to defend yourself. Now, he should have also been suspended, Ramirez, but absolutely. The funny thing is, or whether that's good or bad, most talked about thing in baseball this week. You know, you want to bring eyes on the sport, and I'm with you. And honestly, I have a new rule when it comes to fighting. Here's the rule I think that should happen. Let's get some penalty boxes like in hockey. And you know what? If 2 guys start jawing, you're suspended 5 games if you get involved. Everyone has to now back off. You're not allowed to break them up.
Wow.
And just watch and see what they do. So it's like if you're going to square off or get in somebody's face, you're either fighting or you're walking away. But all this like push and push until people get there and separate you, and then you get really angry. No.
You don't want it like the Alabama brawl.
Oh, the one. Oh, that's, yeah. I mean, that was
something.
That was the brawl of the year. It's been a really good week for fights.
Yes.
To be honest with you. I say safe. It's the right.
I mean, you know, I when they do this and people go, what is the right number? Like, this feels like about right. Yeah. I mean, I think Anderson's the initiator. Ramirez gets half the games. It's still 3. It's a suspension. I mean, it could be 5 and 2, 4, 8 and 4. I don't know. This is fine. Safe.
Fine.
Also, outside of the loss of pay, if you're Tim Anderson, isn't it nice to take 6 days away from the White Sox? Just kind of, you know.
Based on their culture, right?
Honestly,
reports of that.
Yeah. All the stories coming out of the White Sox. God. Good Lord.
Just that they have no rules.
Yeah.
That there's a pitcher that's falling asleep all the time in the bullpen, like legit. It's a
Grandal slapping Anderson.
Yeah, like, and I don't know the whole Tim. I think there's a little more of this Tim Anderson thing that we're seeing right now.
Yeah,
this is a very interesting thing to watch, and I don't think it's done. And I think there's going to be some more that comes out about all of this. I think Tim Anderson has some issues, is what it's starting to look like right now, and you're never a fan of that. Number 2,
safe or out.
Prior to being ejected last night, Yankees manager Aaron Boone mocked the home plate umpire strikeout call while drawing a line in the dirt that showed the ump calling strikes on pitches off the plate. Safe or out, this was a terrific theatrical production by Boone.
It was, and I miss it. I miss these. You don't get a lot of manager on-field meltdowns anymore. You don't get a lot of taking a base and walking off with it.
No more. We need more Lou Pinellas, right?
We need more Lou Pinellas. We need more Jim Lelands. We need more Earl Weavers. We need more Hal McRae's. We need more of this stuff. Like, if you're going to get ejected, get your money's worth. And Aaron Boone got his money's worth.
He did. I was actually watching it when it happened. It was pretty interesting because the umpire as well was yelling at Boone. Like, usually it's the second you argue balls and strikes, you're out. He threw him out. Then he came out, and they were yelling at each other.
Yes.
And then there was the theatrics, which was pretty funny. He did need to turn the hat around, though. Like, to really make him like he was the umpire. I mean, he got in the crouch a little bit and then did the mocking thing, but like he needed to go a few more steps, but he was great.
And wouldn't you pay an additional? Well, not even additional. You know, I paid $4.99 for that History Channel thing, right? Would you pay $4.99 to have a channel where everyone's mic'd up and you got to hear that whole exchange?
Yeah,
I would 100%.
Yeah.
I'd put a $5 on that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't let your kids watch it.
Oh, bad words. Number 3.
Safe or out.
Former Giant and current Yankee Carlos Rodon heads back to the IL, where he has had more stints than wins this season, to go along with his 7.33 ERA. Safe or out. This is the worst free agent signing by the Yankees in the last 10 years.
What did Rodon sign for?
A lot.
Too much.
I think it was too.
It's like 6 and 115, I think.
You know,
got him a Kevin Brown deal.
I would like to say, okay, first off, I'm going to say without a list of all Yankee free agent signings in front of me right now. Oh my God, 6 years. Woof. $162 million.
Oh, I thought I had it one. What did I say? 115? Ooh.
So I'm going to say safe because he's been absolute trash this year, and he's in the first year of that deal. Jason, because I also want to add to this question too. Safer out.
Oh, say you're right. Yeah. I don't have the full list either, but
well, I was going to say in the last 10 years, didn't Jacoby Ellsbury?
Oh yeah,
he probably can't be this.
At least he played every day and I may not have produced, but.
So I want to add to this question too, because I think it's fair, especially considering the conversation we had yesterday. And I'm going to safer out the two of you. Former Giant, current Yankee Carlos Rodon heads back to the IL, where he has had more stints than wins this season to go along with a 7.33 ERA. Safe or out? This is a feather in Farhan Zaidi's cap, along with avoiding Carlos Correa's signing that maybe we're a little too hard on him, and he knows a little better than we think. Because if you're going to crap on the Yankees for signing him, don't you kind of have to look at Zaidi and say the easy decision would have been to re-sign him? He got a lot of crap for letting him go, just like he got a lot of crap for not signing Correa because of the physical.
Well, let me safer out. You're safer out.
He's safer out.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with he just can't perform in the New York market, specifically with the Yankees? You know, if he signs in Minnesota this year, is he having these same issues?
I don't, because he also had an injury issue before he got with the Giants.
I get that.
You know,
that's why they did 1 year probably.
And I got to imagine the Yankees probably outbid the Giants if the Giants were even bidding. But at what point do we say, you know what, the Zaidi guy might be a pretty good evaluator of talent and his people?
I think he's a good evaluator of talent. He just can't sign any.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I guess I just want to try to cover the guy fairly. And if we're going to crap on the Yankees for this being a terrible signing, I feel like we also have to kind of high-five Farhan Zaidi for not making
Maybe some of us don't want to do that.
I high-fived him.
I'll safe it. You know,
that is true. I'm talking to a Dodger fan.
I will be
an
unbiased Dodger fan and say safe.
All right.
Give Farhan his flowers for not signing Correa and Rodon.
Okay.
He's safing your safer out.
He is.
Which was his safer out.
Which was his safer out. Which all of them were safe.
Did you safe mine?
I did safe yours.
Jason, you safed it too, right?
It's safe.
Yeah.
Jason not buying a Rodon jersey, I believe.
No. I'm going to mock him, much like Aaron Boone would.
Not buying a Rodon jersey, but not Farhan away from not buying one either.
Hey, take it easy.
Bad. Dave's is better than yours.
Not safe, not out replay.
Yeah.
We have to determine whether or not that's going to work. We'll take a break. When we come back, the WNBA commissioner has reiterated the need for expansion. Where is Sacramento on this expansion list? And is this something that haunts Vivek Ranadive? We'll go back to some of his comments from when he bought the team. We'll do that next. Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Johnny Holland is the linebackers coach, and he thinks there are a few more tip balls and quick throws that they could have come up with. Johnny Holland's solution for this? Juggling.
I'm sorry? Like clown juggling, just juggling,
juggling, which he's had Greenlaw and Fred Warner practice while most of their teammates are engaged in the special teams portion of practice.
Clowns, man. They got a tougher job than what you would think.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
The extracurricular activities, the traffic, the nightly homework, the traffic, the finding time to eat dinner together as a family, the traffic. Back to school can be stressful. Thanks to Ziploc, meal prep doesn't have to be. New Ziploc bags with Stay Open design have a patented stand-up bottom that helps keep the bag upright and a top crease that folds and holds for easy filling, unlocking a second set of hands in the kitchen. If only it unlocked a second set of lanes. New Ziploc brand freezer and storage bags with Stay Open design from SC Johnson, a family company.
Relive racing history with hundreds of historic race cars at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, August 16 to 19. Hundreds of the best, from the high-revving Formula One Ferraris and Lotuses to the ground-pounding thunder of the Cobras and Corvettes. Meet legendary drivers, indulge in delicious food and refreshing beverages, and take a spin on the Ferris wheel or go-kart to add to the family experience. VIP hospitality passes to the Legends Club are still available. Buy your tickets now at WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Heart Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPfest.com.
Staples has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on all your school essentials from notebooks to markers. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, portable tech, and travel-size personal items. Plus, save on signs, banners, and posters from Staples print and marketing services. And now at Staples, you can save even more with 50% back in rewards on your print order. Get everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. Ends 8/12. Rewards members only. Rewards redeemable in-store only. See associate for details.
Still no Sacramento. As a matter of fact, there's nothing in Northern California. There was no Bay Area, although they appear to be on the list somewhere. Vivek Ranadive, when he bought the team, was asked and said, one of my things is I want to bring the Monarchs back. And you got to wonder how active they are in trying to bring the Monarchs back.
I remember Kevin Johnson. That was a big thing.
It was a big deal. Too. Austin, Nashville, or a couple of the non-NBA markets getting consideration. You certainly are seeing, I feel like in my viewing, like I'm watching SportsCenter, seeing, like I see more.
Oh, the league is really good now.
The Las Vegas Aces are a revelation. There's
New York's really good.
Yeah, the Liberty. And so I decided to look at some numbers, and there's some good news, I think, and some bad news. Let's start with the good news. The league capitalized on a record-breaking year in 2022, with profits in the 23 season nearly doubling from 2019. Of course, pandemic issues there and all that. Sure. Currently, the league is projected to bring in between $180 million and $200 million in combined team and league revenue. That's up from $102 million in 2019. So there's definitely some growth, and there's definitely some there's recovery, if you will, from the pandemic. One thing to worry about a little bit is the CBA signed in 2020 runs through 2027, but the Players Association can abandon it after 18 months or at the end of the 2024 season. I don't know how well a strike would go over, so hopefully they're able to figure that out. Now we look at viewership. Actually, let's look at attendance first, because this is where it gets a little, now you start raising an eyebrow a little bit. In 97, I believe that was the inaugural year, 9,600 fans watched. The next year, almost 11,000. The following year, still over 10,000. Then 9,000, 9,200, 8,800, 7,400, 7,100, kind of stayed in the sevens, the mid sevens until 2017. Then down to 6,700, 2,600 was the pandemic, and then now back up in 2022 to 5,679, 5,679 per game. So over the years, and we're talking about 26 years-ish, you've gone from averages in the 10s and 9s to averages in the 5s, and it has been a steady decline in attendance almost across the board. When you look at, for example, viewership in 2018, 480,000. This is the WNBA finals, by the way. This is the marquee WNBA finals. 480,000 in 2018, 380,000 in 2019, 440 in 2020, 546 in 2021, and last year 534,000 on average tuned in for the WNBA finals. Just to kind of give you an idea, we talked about this yesterday. The NFL averages 16.7 million for a regular season game. The NBA and Major League Baseball are in the low to high, 1 to 2 million. It's how long, I don't know how to judge the WNBA because I have an internal argument, Jason. On one hand, it's not new. It's been around now for 26 years, and there's statistics there, and they're not necessarily great. And are people outside of a very niche audience, are people actually interested in the WNBA? On the other side, look at the NBA, baseball, and football 26 years into their careers and into their sport. And are the fact that things have not always been marketed well, they have not gotten a lot of exposure. The fact that, the trope is that, well, they're on the NBA and they're being subsidized. And then, they're pulling in $180, $200 million last year. That's a profit. I don't know which is true. And I struggle with it.
Yeah, I think when you look at it just in not the attendance or the television figures, I think where it is paralleling other sports is this, in that the beginning of men's college basketball, there were, like UCLA dominated in the 60s, and they were the team and was winning 10 of 12 championships, and it just seemed like there was one team out there. Well, Connecticut for women or Stanford for women for the longest time, like those were the two programs.
Yes.
Now there's a lot more programs. South Carolina, Baylor, LSU. There's a bunch of women's programs. It's just the balance of power has grown in college. Then that has translated into better overall play in the WNBA. So I think what they've done for the sport parallels some other sports. Now the attendance part and the viewership, I don't know that I have an answer for that. I think generally television viewing has gone down just based on almost across the board for a lot of sports because of the cord cutting and different measurements. But I don't have a good answer for the attendance. The only thing I could think of is I think some of the places they're now playing are a little bit smaller than they were, but that doesn't mean, when the games were at Arco, they weren't always full. But like when the Monarchs made the championship, there were nights where there was 15 to 17,000 people there.
Yes.
I mean, those are great numbers. But, a Tuesday night back then against the Utah Stars might have had, 7,000, 8,000. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a tough conversation to have because there's a lot of misogyny that surrounds women's sports. And you don't want to feed into that. And you don't want to give that crowd an excuse. I can only try to be vulnerable and explain my view of the WNBA as a viewer. I generally am not into it. I'm an NBA guy. It has nothing. I don't care what gender. I truly don't. I truly, honest to God, do not care. But it's not, and I shouldn't use sweeping statements here either. There are, like, what was it the other year? South Carolina, Connecticut. I'll never forget. I think it either went to overtime or down. It was an insane game. The women that play in the WNBA are some of the greatest athletes in the world and would wax me, you, and everybody. Like, there's no doubt about their elite athleticism to me. I don't like the style of play. I like the above the rim. I like dunks. I like alley-oops. I like just massive in-your-face fourth-row block shots. Not that never happens in the WNBA, but I enjoy that style of play. The WNBA overall probably plays a much cleaner, more fundamental type of game, which again, I know is a trope, but you're going to see overall much better fundamentals in the WNBA than you do in the NBA because a lot of these guys are just getting away with it because of that insane extra athleticism. I don't know how to fix that. And anytime you bring the following up, and again, this is where I lose the whole crowd and it's like, oh, you're a moron. I want the league to succeed. I want the league to succeed as much as it can. I want the players to hopefully be able to stop having to play overseas to supplement their income. I want them to fly on charter planes and not commercial. I want it to succeed. And I think in order to do that, I want to be able to have a conversation. I don't know why it's such a it gets shut down so quickly when you talk about lowering the rim a foot in the WNBA. It just is met with such vitriol. And it's like, give me a reason. And like, I'm not set on it. My whole thing is, you see every once in a while, they're on SportsCenter. Somebody dunks in the WNBA, and it's like, oh my God. Imagine what would happen if you drop things a foot. Now all of a sudden, you're playing above the rim. It's a whole different ball game. And it's not because, the women, they can't do that. No, but they physically on par cannot jump as high. If you took the average height of a jump from every WNBA player and compared it to the average height of jump of every NBA player, I don't have the stats, but I'll bet every single penny I own, NBA guys are going to be significantly higher. That's just how it is. So let's get that out there and go, okay, does that change the game enough? Does that make a viewing difference?
I don't think it would for you.
For dummies like me,
I don't think
maybe,
it would. But you think if it doesn't matter the player X goes in and version of a lower rim, I guess, dunks on another player, you're in?
I don't know that
because that's what you're saying is why you like the
yeah. Like I don't. And by the way, again, blanket statement. It's not the only reason I like it, but just kind of hard to like stand over somebody after an awesome layup. You know what I'm saying, or a jump shot, whether you're in the NBA or the WNBA. I think being above the rim and doing it's not just about dunks, right?
Right.
Like Steph Curry has proven that time and time again. But boy, does it look good on social media. Boy, does it look good on TikTok. Boy, can you collapse these highlights up and really make it a thing. And if the whole goal, or at least my whole goal in talking about it, would be continue to grow the game, bringing more eyes on it, getting these ladies paid a real, I don't want to insult their wages, but I'm talking like
I agree
millions.
with all that. Yeah.
Then it's like everything. Well, not everything, because then you're going to get dumb ding dong. It's like, well, put them in bikinis. Remember that when they first came in? It's like, that's just that is insulting and stupid. And if the rim thing isn't a thing, and the reason why I also want to talk about it too is because, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't they playing on a 3-point circle is moved in, correct?
I think
it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's an unprecedented thing to adjust the ladies' sport based on what, like tennis, 3 sets, not 5.
Right.
You have ladies, tees, and golf.
But the distances and the nets and the court size is all the same.
Court sizes are the same, but still, a 3-pointer in the WNBA is not a 3-pointer in the NBA. Right?
No, but it's the same with college and the men. It's not the same.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like I said,
but the length of time is different.
The
game. So it would be like
what
the
are
sets.
they, 40, I think?
Well, they have quarters, right?
Yeah,
and it's 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes. So there's a precedent for adjustments to be made. And by the way, I'm not saying that's the cure-all. It's just always in the back of my head, like, why don't we ever? Why is that conversation like so not great?
Because I don't think there's been, to my knowledge, I don't think there's been one female player that wants that.
Yeah.
They've kind of figured out the game. They've done it. They're doing well. The game is better than it's ever been.
I agree with that.
And
I agree with that 100%.
I don't hear any of them clamoring for it.
I know they're clamoring for more money.
Well, they should.
And they should.
Yeah.
And they damn well should. And it just goes to the point where there's no way of knowing whether or not that would increase viewership or not. And at this point, I would want to try anything within reason, that isn't stupid idiot. And maybe that's stupid idiot. I don't know. I love the fact that the game's growing. I love the fact that I can sit on the couch with my wife and daughter now that my wife's getting into coaching and all that and watch. And I love the fact that there's more entertainment out there for people, and there's an outlet for both sexes to be able to play professional sports, as professional basketball. And I think that should be the way across the board. And anything you can do, again, without insulting anyone to grow the game, I think should be on the table. At the same time, no Sacramento. That's not on the table right now, and that's unfortunate. We'll take a break. When we come back, Barrows, Lombardi, 2 guys very close to the Niners. What they learned in Niners camp. We'll break all that down next.
How many national TV games will the Kings have this season? Will the Beam Team get the respect and schedule they've earned? When the NBA schedule drops, we've got you covered on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We have a comfortable start to your Tuesday thanks to a ramp up in that Delta breeze. It's that steady breeze today that'll keep temperatures down. Expect daytime highs upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And is swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The set, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line, quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Pritchett has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis to throw home. Swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at SactownSports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to PowerCopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Sactownsports.com is your home of the best Niner coverage you'll find everywhere because we are the home of the Niners. We get to hour number 2. We will have all your Niners. Right? Yeah. Just about a month away.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'm really excited for that, Jason.
I know you are.
Not gonna lie.
You like football.
Enjoy football. I enjoy fantasy football. I just enjoy everything about it. I enjoy the time of year. And kind of a weird opening week. Like the opening game is Lions at Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's just...
It's usually the Super Bowl champ. That makes sense, but everybody's a little surprised that it was Detroit. But
like, I'm all in on Detroit. Good for them. But it's kind of a rough start for them.
But we'll be watching.
We will certainly be watching. And hey, maybe it's like, well, if you're going to get the Chiefs, get them early.
Yeah.
And then the Niners open at 10 a.m. In Pittsburgh, taking on the Steelers. Currently, right now, the Niners favored by 3 if you're looking for an early line.
Yes, I like early lines.
That seems soft. Huh. I mean, it's tough to go on the road and beat somebody else's home opener. I understand that.
Yes.
I mean,
come on, let's go.
And the Niners do have a habit of coming out the box a little shaky from time to time, but I don't know about that. Bills Jets is your Monday Night Football game. Only one Monday Night Football game opening week.
Yeah, but I think week 2 and week 3 has 2.
Is that right?
If I'm not mistaken.
Here, week 2, Vikings and Eagles on Thursday. Dolphins Patriots is your Sunday night, and yes, Jason, Saints Panthers and Browns Steelers.
Yeah.
Those are great. And then week 3, Thursday Night Football, Giants Niners. Remember that's on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
So set your clocks. I don't know. Steelers Raiders is your Sunday Night Football, and then Eagles Bucks Rams Bengals.
I don't know why, but yeah, I saw that. Like 2 Monday nights in 2 of the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's a little goofy. So anyways, bottom line is this: Sunday, September 10th is your opener for both the Niners and the Raiders. They will visit Denver and take on the Broncos. That is just, in 2 days, it'll be August 10th.
Yes.
Then it's just count it all down. In the meantime, we still have camp, Matt Barrows and Mike Lombardi out there. Wait, Dave Lombardi. Who's Mike Lombardi? I don't know. This guy I went to school with?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Talking first off about physique, specifically with Deebo Samuel and Javon Kinlaw, that they look, with Tyrion Davis-Price, they're looking good.
Are they showing more pictures? Is Deebo sending more pics to the coach?
That would actually be kind of a funny bit if he just like
a picture a day
of the media.
Yeah.
Just put it out to got a group text.
Yeah.
And then just sent like him posing.
This is what I look like today.
You know, by the way, I like the whole, and this is a familiar camp thing where it's like, oh, Freddie looks buffed.
Yeah.
And I like it in the sense, like, it does make me feel good because it tells you that they were focused in the offseason. They were obviously paying attention to their craft, their body, taking care of themselves, and they showed work ethic. And those are all wonderful things, and they usually do lead to good things. However, more muscular frame does not always equal improved performance either. We've seen plenty of situations where a guy put on more weight,
right,
in muscle, lost a little bit of speed, But for a guy like Debo, I mean, he was already a bowling ball after the catch anyways. This is only going to help.
Yeah, he's a fun style to play. I think he would just be a nightmare to tackle because he's fearless, he's strong, he's quick, and he's not afraid to run through you too.
No, not at all. And I just would not want to tackle him.
No, and it's like he didn't even understand like when there were some comps like that or why they wanted to run him so much. He's like, I'm a receiver, not a running back. It's like, well, you're a weapon is what you are.
Right.
And Kyle Shanahan has utilized him that way.
I also wonder, we're all wondering about the quarterback room. And what it sounds like right now is I heard, was it Barrows? Somebody brought up a pretty interesting conundrum yesterday, which was it'll be very interesting to see it looks like Brock Purdy's your number one. And that seems to be the big consensus and almost a non-story at this point. He's your number one barring injury. So then it's who's your number two? And it's one of those things where he said if Trey Lance ends up being QB3 behind Darnold, then he should ask for a trade immediately. But the problem is if he's QB3 behind Sam Darnold, does that kill off his value?
Yeah, but then do you argue to get something, just even something for him? It might kill off some of his value, but another team might look at it. Because that's the thing I wondered once they had the 3 QBs, because I think they have – honestly, I believe all 3 can start. I really do for this team and be successful. And, yes, you could get in the same situation you had last year. I think the odds of having 2 quarterbacks get hurt are pretty low, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. It happened last year. Would you be better off moving that 3rd quarterback for anything? Future picks, but depth somewhere else.
You look at last year, though, we could.
It would have, but.
Also, who were we talking about on this show? Why am I getting a memory? Who were we talking about that we were talking about a position player in some sport, and it was like, well, they didn't get moved, or they moved somebody else, and that really showed them a vote of confidence that maybe they should. I forget the conversation we were having, but you want to show Brock Purdy that level of confidence, but at the same time, are you ready to show
is that the right answer?
Are you ready to give up on the number 3 pick?
Yeah.
Who basically started a game in a monsoon and then got hurt the very next game and has been working his tail off, and you're ready to give up your number 3 pick for probably at best a 3rd round pick? I mean, I think.
Yeah.
And hand everything over to Brock Purdy? I don't know that the answer is no there.
I mean, if the Niners today have never fully come out and said who's 1, who's 2, who's 3, and offered up all 3 quarterbacks just to any team.
Yeah.
Who gets the most in return today? Isn't it Lance?
I think it's Lance.
Yeah.
I do.
Based on where he's drafted, based on potential. Well, Darnold's drafted that high too. But it's interesting that Purdy might be the number 1. I don't know how much he gets in return.
I think it probably, my guess is Lance, Purdy, Darnold. But again, even Purdy,
I might even go Lance, Darnold, Purdy.
You might be right.
What's crazy is I don't think any of the 3 give you anything of significance in return.
I agree with you, because I think the knock there is, well, they're only good because they're on the Niners.
Yeah.
You put anybody on the Niners, and they're going to be pretty decent.
Jimmy G found a home.
But this is going to become a thing now. This is such an important year for the Niners for so many reasons. But ultimately, looking ahead, if I fast forward a year or two and I look back, the 49ers might end up. I actually think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I've said that before. I think they're stacked. I think it's going to happen. But if we're looking ahead 2 years from now and they've got another, conference championship, maybe a Super Bowl appearance and a loss, maybe a, semifinal out, the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era is going to be looked at in history's gaze as perhaps the most stubborn. You have a situation where they have John Lynch is great at his job. Kyle Shanahan's great at his job. They have a top defense, a top offense, but they have consistently shied away from opportunities.
Yeah.
Whether it was Tom Brady who wanted to come here, whether it was Aaron Rodgers who wanted to come here. You're talking about the 2 preeminent quarterbacks of this generation that wanted to come here, both still with, Rodgers is 2 years removed from an MVP.
Yeah.
Brady's 2 years removed from a Super Bowl championship. Those are guaranteed titles, like pretty much guaranteed titles. But they wanted to do their own thing, whether it was the Jimmy Garoppolo thing, who got them just there.
Right.
Close enough. Or let's draft our own guy. Whereas, this is the same regime. I think, was it Lynch or was it was Lynch, right, that drafted Solomon Thomas? Wasn't that his first year? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Jay's nodding. So yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and hammer him for drafting Solomon Thomas over Patrick Mahomes because everybody did. Or at least 12 other teams did. But at some point, you're going to look back. I mean, this is a legacy on the line thing and go, you guys managed to build up this super team, yet your ego did not allow you to accept the fact that the most important position in sports can't just be cobbled.
Yeah, wouldn't it be interesting? And let's just say your example is correct, that they get whatever. They kind of do what they've done. They've been a good team and then fall short of winning a Super Bowl, whether it's getting to the Super Bowl or losing in a title game or somewhere along the playoffs for the next year or two. And even if they made a change after that, doesn't it feel to you that by and large, like the Jim Harbaugh era was successful? But what's different?
They're better.
This group is better?
I think so.
Are they? I mean, but I feel like maybe it's because where they were when Harbaugh started and really helped change, kind of get them back on what would be the Niners path. But yet I feel like that era was deemed successful. And I'm not saying it's not, but this group I don't think is getting the same, or maybe they are. I don't know.
I think it just depends on who you're listening to and what you're reading. On some way, there's some ways where I see this group is just so hyped.
Mm-hmm.
And then others, it's creating this quarterback situation and finding these holes that just, there's the biggest hole on the team probably is the most important position in sports because there's really no other holes on this team.
Right.
There's no other significant holes on this team. They're elite at almost every position with a handful of exceptions. And I think on paper, they're at
And wasn't
worst.
that the thought, though, with Alex Smith and into Kaepernick kind of too?
Yes. And you have a history of, it worked for Trent Dilfer, it worked for Joe Flacco, worked for Doug Williams, worked for, on and on and on. But again, that's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
They should be the overwhelming favorites to win the Super Bowl. But I completely understand why they're not, because you're talking about Mr. Irrelevant, a guy who's played 2 games out of North Dakota State and a number 3 pick bust out of USC. That's who you got in your quarterback room. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. We got more to get to a little bit later, specifically at 7:27. Coming up next, 3 for Madness. Speaking of rivalries, Richard Sherman has a new activity. The ACC is considering something that just makes absolutely no sense at all. And on this day in 1992, a big anniversary. We'll get to it next.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I hear Post Malone's going to be doing the ESPN college football thing. How about that, huh?
It's not a great song. Chris played it for me during a couple breaks ago. It's, all those songs are very corny, very cringe.
Yes.
Exactly. I was literally going to say that.
I don't know why that one line used to drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Alan, Dan, they're the best on TV.
That song is absolutely terrible.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
Did you know the average person walks 100,000 miles in their lifetime? It's true. That's a whole lot of stress, strain, and pressure ultimately put on 2 feet. Hi, DC Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store. As a spokesperson for Good Feet, I run into all sorts of surprising foot-related facts. Like, despite relatively few Americans being born with foot issues, over time, 75% of all adults will experience painful foot or foot-related problems. By supporting all 4 arches of the foot, the Good Feet 3-step arch support system can help return your foot and whole body to its proper alignment. Come to the Good Feet store for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk. Experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Which quarterback in the Niners camp, by the way, is going to have the most pressure on them this weekend? We'll talk about that at 7:27 right now. Jay Mars, 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wing.
I was going to say, just one?
No, all of them, dude. Every single Fire Wings ever.
Really?
In the world.
It's a lot of wangs, a lot of chickens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Question 1.
Richard Sherman will be Skip Bayless's new partner on Undisputed. Will Sherman improve the show?
It depends on Richard Sherman. And this is what I always worry about. It depends on Richard Sherman's knowledge of other sports. You know, football is king. And Richard Sherman is going to here's what we know about Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is incredibly intelligent. Richard Sherman is a Stanford grad. Richard Sherman played the game at the highest, most elite level. Richard Sherman is incredibly charismatic and very memorable. You know, he'll make his points, and there will be some really fun arguments between the two of them. There's no doubt about that. What I always wonder, and I wondered this with Shannon, and he did well. What happens when we get to baseball? What happens when we get to basketball? And of course, there's going to be that surface knowledge.
Well, Skip doesn't know anything about those.
Well, Skip doesn't know anything about anything. Yeah, exactly. But it's always when they get in the deep waters. However, remember, it's not just Richard Sherman and Skip Bayless rolling in and sitting down and getting makeup. They have a staff. They have all kinds of stuff prepared for them as well as their own preparation. So let's say it is, I don't know, Carlos Rodon, was it the worst signing for the Yankees? Well, you're going to have an entire staff prepping you with other terrible signings and stats and everything. I think with the proper support and grooming, which won't take that long, I think Sherman's going to be great at this. I think he's going to be great at it because of his charisma and because he's very good on his feet.
Yeah, the problem for me on this is he might be great for all the things you said. He's smart. He knows the game of football. Certainly he knows he's going to know a lot of these people, have interactions with them. I just don't think we're going to know it. No one, like the difference in ratings from something like ESPN to FS1 is so, the gap is so vast. Correct. There. So
yes, it is.
To me, whenever I've ever seen anything with Skip Bayless and Shannon or anyone else, it's a clip that gets viral because Skip and the other person are yelling at each other.
Yes.
So I think Richard Sherman might make the most intelligent, poignant points that just get lost. It's the thing that he's going to be yelling at Skip about that we see. And we go, oh, okay, interesting.
You're
They're
right.
yelling about traffic, whatever. It doesn't even matter. Okay. I don't know. Just not my show.
Well, I agree with you, by the way. I
think he can make all the greatest points ever. Who sees it?
You're going to have a lot of yelling.
Yeah. And that's what we will end up seeing. Like, oh, did you guys see this time where Richard nearly came across the table to yell at Skip? Cool. That's fun.
Right. Almost.
Right. Okay.
And then the headlines you will end up seeing is, I always laugh at the questions we see out of context. Like, the U.S. women crash out of the World Cup. Should they leave the country?
Yeah.
Skip and Richard discuss. And then they're both like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'm with you. These shows are not my cup of tea.
So what I gathered from this was no, he won't improve the show. I feel like that's kind of what we're landing on.
I think that my point was I don't know. I don't know that we'll be able to. He might. It's just, will we even know it? Will anybody know it? Will his points be? I think what they want to do, I think he will into the parts of what he's going to say. I think what they will show us is the times that they yell, which is no different if it's Skip and insert other person.
And,
yellers.
Do we know that somebody texted in saying that he's only going to be on during the NFL season?
That I did not see.
I didn't see that either. But even if that's correct, basketball is going to fly in there a little bit.
Absolutely.
Those seasons overlap.
So are they just going to get him an athlete from the two NBA? And
I mean, that would
NFL
actually be kind of fun if you just switched. You brought
who would be the NBA guy? Got to be someone retired.
You know who would actually be kind of good? Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes
would be pretty decent. Kevin Garnett would be pretty good.
You know who would actually, Jason, you talk about the viral arguing and stuff. You know, if he wasn't contracted to ESPN, JJ Redick.
I was just going to say JJ Redick would be very good too. Question number 2.
Question 2.
The Atlantic Coast Conference, better known as the ACC, is considering adding Cal and Stanford. Could these be the most ridiculous Pac-12 defections yet?
This is just getting silly.
The Atlantic Coast with the Pacific Coast.
And then really, if Cal and Stanford leave, wherever they may go, which looks like they are going, I'm not saying that they're not already dead, but like the Pac-12 is just, it's dead.
It's dead. It's sad.
I think you check the remaining Pac-4.
Yeah.
Put them in the big sky, right, Jason?
There we go.
Yeah, or something, or merge those. Bring in the Wyoming.
West.
Yeah, something. I mean, at some point.
Why don't you do like the West 25?
We're this close to having Sac State be like the core member of the Pac-12, which I mean, I wouldn't hate. Now you're talking about Berkeley and Palo Alto. So let's just call it San Francisco.
Sure.
Going to Miami, Florida State, probably not.
North Carolina.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
We're
not that far removed from when the Lakers and Celtics were playing each other all the time in the finals.
Yeah.
And everybody complained about the cross country for professionals, cross country travel. And they modified the finals to 2-3-2, and now they've switched it back. But now for college athletes, and not just football, everybody, and not just basketball. This is for everything.
It really is becoming comical. This is all being decided.
It's just happening with no one overseeing any of it.
The future of some kid in 7th grade right now is being decided by some fat butt CEO ding dong in an office somewhere.
It feels like the Pac-12 almost just had a yard sale.
Yeah.
It was like, here, pick who you want. We don't really care what conference, what area of the country you're in. Just have them.
And meanwhile, Oregon State and Washington State have gone from $1 to 50 cents to free. Take us, and no one's doing it.
Watch, because Cal and Stanford go to ACC. Basically, the Pac-12 is going to be it's just going to be one game with those two teams, and that's just going to be the Pac Bowl.
I'm going to make a prediction, and this could be really terrible, but I'm going to make a prediction. I think this is ultimately going to be good for college sports. I think this was an inevitable fallout from the NIL stuff. I think somebody's going to see an opportunity here like we've been talking about, and all this crap that's going on right now, this isn't sustainable. It's not realistic.
Well, especially the transfer portal.
There's no
it's
way.
So bad.
I think this is going to be the messy pre-birth of a real streamlined elite college football system that gets away from the NCAA and the traditional stuff, and just they figure out what they should have figured out a long time ago. This is a business. This is the NFL's minor league, if you will. It's probably at the worst the third, if not second most watched sport in the country. Like college football versus baseball, college football versus NBA, college football is going to win most of the time. So at some point, somebody needs to grab this and say, they need to be getting billions upon billions upon billions a year, more than they are right now. And oh, by the way, you still have March Madness, which is, other than the Super Bowl, probably the most valuable sports property in the United States. Someone's going to figure that out. There's going to be some young television executive that's going to put all this together and go to all the schools and say, I got it. Here's how we're going to subsidize your lower sports. Here's how everyone's going to make more money. And instead of having, like we talked about yesterday, 5 games a year that matter per elite club, elite school, pretty much 11 out of 12 do. You're going to get one stinker because we can't control that. Number 3.
Question 3.
On this day in 1992, the U.S. men's basketball team wins gold at the Barcelona Olympics.
Gold!
Is this the most dominant team performance in sports history?
It's tough to say no to that.
Yeah, I think it
is. I mean,
right?
It really is. You know, what was
they were lapping the field.
Yeah, they were.
What was the closest game? Was it even like within 30 points?
Everything was like was it Lithuania or something? Didn't Lithuania give them like a little bit of a something? I don't know.
I'm gonna have stuff confused, but I felt like weren't they like down one time like 5-2 or something like that? Like I don't even know how much they even trailed.
Yeah, it was not close.
Yeah.
Now I could get cute and be like, no, back in
I don't know what a different answer would be.
I don't know either. I'm sure there was like some gladiator thing in Rome that was like a total blowout. I don't know. Some sort of all-star. I'm trying to think. Baseball, no. Football, no. This is a different level. Now it's
last year's Kings team.
That's
the
true.
3 seed. Hello.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had a beam in Barcelona?
But isn't it also kind of cool though that how much the world has caught up and closed the gap?
Yeah.
No.
And I truly, this whole tournament thing they're doing, I say screw that. I want to see a USA versus the world tournament. I want to see a USA versus the world where you got Embiid and Luka and Jokic.
FIBA World Cup.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they're all spread apart though. I want all the internationals consolidated to one team versus the US, and I think that'd be a hell of a fun game or series.
Should do it for the All-Star game.
I mean, honestly, we should have fun and make a lineup and really put them against each other. Who would be your international lineup? I know at guard, I would start breaded Malaysian curry. Breaded Malaysian
Not
curry.
Steph?
Nope. Breaded Malaysian curry is for the all wing team. That's true. Who would my wings be? Let's go with Saigon Street. Let's go with Louisiana Hot Rub. Love Louisiana Hot Rub.
Peanut butter.
At the 2 is peanut butter. And bring it up the middle, Buffalo. The Buffalo down low.
Big old Buffalo.
Big old Buffalo. Go to Fire Wings right now. Remember, tomorrow is Wing Day Wednesday. 88-cent wings at the same time. You can go right now, still get phenomenal deals. Phenomenal deals, I tell you. And also, order it right now. And have it ready at noon. Have it ready at 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. Skip the lines. Walk right in. Grab your wings and get out. Ramen, garlic fries, and more. Go to firewings.com. Find the location here. Tell them Carmichael Dave sends you. Fire Wings. Just wing it. With the Niners playing this Sunday, first preseason game versus the Raiders. Which quarterback has the most pressure on? We'll talk about that next. Sactown Sports.
The Kings preseason schedule is out, and Sactown Sports has you covered. Preseason stuffs include Vancouver, Anaheim, San Francisco, and Sacramento, with matchups against the Raptors, Lakers, Warriors, and Jazz.
Monk in attack mode, drives inside, right to the rim. And that's the dagger right there. I think the Warriors fans sensed that with that breakdown, the Warriors look like a defeated ball club.
Catch all the action on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We have a comfortable start to your Tuesday thanks to a ramp up in that Delta breeze. It's that steady breeze today. It'll keep temperatures down. Expect daytime highs upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindown. 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Hard Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The set, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line, quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Pritchett has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis to throw home. Swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at SactownSports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to powercopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Kyle Shanahan says he'd be highly surprised if we saw Brock Purdy Sunday. Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, where's he going to be? He's not going to the game?
Fireworks.
Way to spoil the surprise, Kyle. Am I right?
Yeah. So Lance, Darnold, other guy, they'll all get some.
Brandon Allen is his name, and he's been completing passes.
You know what, dude?
He started in the NFL. You haven't.
You ever go to Red Lobster and they have the tank of lobsters? And like as a little kid, I used to want to name them, and then my parents didn't let me name them because we were going to eat them. And once you put a name on somebody or something, then it becomes more personal. I think that's how I feel about Brandon Allen. Like I just don't even want to say his name because
you're going to eat him.
By eat him, I mean he's going to get cut.
Yeah,
probably, and then what are they going to keep 4 quarters? I mean,
why not?
Stranger things have happened.
You know what, though? This has been a good audition for him because I guarantee you there's somebody that will probably pick him up as a backup, like
He was
number
the
2.
Backup to Joe Burrow.
He was.
He's a quality quarterback.
He was.
Bengals might want him back on that roster, though, after.
But you're going to have Trey Lance and Sam Darnold as your marquee quarterbacks. And I'm very excited for this. I really am because I want to see, for example, I want to see both these guys get extended series. That's why for me, and again, I'm a Niner fan, so obviously I'm going to be more into this preseason game, but truly because there's this quarterback question.
Yeah, for sure.
You know that Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, or you would imagine between the two of them are going to play the bulk of the game, I would imagine, at least 3 quarters, 2.5 quarters. So you're going to get a chance to really see these guys. Now, what I wonder, the question is who has the most pressure on him. It's a hell of a question, Jason.
I feel like it's Trey Lance.
I feel like it's Trey Lance too, but you're also talking about, okay, let's say Trey Lance goes out and stinks it up. And hell, let's go worst case scenario. Trey Lance goes out, stinks it up, gets cut. He still is a number 3 pick from 2 years ago that barely got a shot with the Niners. You feel like somebody's going to say, dude, you barely got a shot with the Niners. Maybe he goes to the Chiefs and backs up Patrick Mahomes since their buddy is their coach. You feel like there's more stops along the way for a Trey Lance. Sam Darnold, oh God, is he washed up at 25 years old? Now he's gone Jets, Panthers. This guy's just not an NFL quarterback. I think you can make arguments for both.
Yeah, I think, too, the other part about this weekend, if this is the way it plays out and there is no Brock Purdy, who gets more of the reps with, and I don't even know how much the regulars, and I'm saying like skill players, O-line, how much they're playing. So that's got to be taken into consideration too, as far as the reps go for these quarterbacks. Who are they playing with?
That's right. And also who are they playing against? Which defense are they playing against? I totally get it. Here's a question. Let's say what happens? You're not playing Brock Purdy, right? What happens if Trey Lance goes out there? He's QB1 for the preseason. He goes out there and plays 2 quarters. And in 2 quarters, dudes, 17 and 19, couple of touchdowns, some beautiful throws, gains, 60 yards on the ground and 4 carries. And what if this is something that carries you? My point is this. What if Trey Lance just has an electric preseason?
Yeah.
What I would love to know is this. Let's say you didn't play Brock Purdy the whole preseason, which they probably will play him at some point. But I understand that Brock Purdy's QB1. I do. And that's probably the right decision. But is there anything Trey Lance can do?
Right. That's what makes you wonder. Is it just going to take an injury or some just hideous performance?
Yeah.
Performances by Brock Purdy?
Because you got to think, man. Like, I get that Purdy's QB1, but is he like that far ahead?
I didn't think so. That's why I said, like, all along, this isn't, you you've got Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers where you're like, no, they're the quarterback. Like, there's
Right.
no question. I feel like it's fair to question.
I do too.
And maybe I'm good with it being Purdy based on what we saw last year. But I think, in fairness, not that sports are ever really truly fair.
Yeah.
What can we say about Trey Lance? And that's why I go, the answer must be in everything else that we don't see. Practices, film room, anything else, just Shanahan's a smart guy. It's not like he's going, I'm just going to do this because he obviously feels that Purdy gives them the best chance.
And maybe it's not that Trey Lance has done anything wrong, but that I think it's a little bit of a security blanket for a coach. And by the way, it should be when you put a guy in who all he has done is win every game he's started. And we talked about before, he's undefeated in games he's finished. The only game he lost was that game to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a blowout. But he has two postseason wins to go with that one loss. And he's never lost a regular season game. So if Kyle Shanahan's sitting in here right now, maybe that's what he goes, maybe he turns to us and goes, guys, I hear what you're saying. Let me tell you what I'm thinking.
Right.
Nothing against Lance, nothing against Darnold. I feel pretty comfortable with all of them. But here's the deal. You're talking about a guy who's Mr. Irrelevant, who worked his ass off to get to this point. You know he's got a good work ethic. You know he's humble and he's got good drive. Now let's look at results. He's never lost a regular season game for me. And it wasn't just cupcakes. You're talking about Miami. He absolutely drilled Tom Brady in Tampa Bay in the Bay Area. Went up to Seattle, won that. The Raiders was probably his biggest struggle, beat them in overtime. And then he goes and beats Seattle and Dallas by a combined score of 60-35 in the playoffs, and then gets hurt in the beginning of the game against Phil. How do I not start this guy?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not start a guy that is 8-0, 8-1? Like,
yeah.
People used to always use Jimmy Garoppolo's record and be like, well, say what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo. Right. And it's a very fair thing to say. Okay, well, Brock Purdy's record is better on top of 2 playoff wins. Like, maybe it's that simple. It's not that complicated. Until dude loses consistently, we're going to go with the guy that's like basically undefeated.
Yeah. Like, if we go back, we were talking about Harbaugh earlier. Remember when it was like Alex Smith was, once they were getting better and he was getting better, they kind of had it figured out with him, but they felt like they could do more as an offense with Colin Kaepernick.
That's right.
And so because Shanahan's such a good offensive play caller to me, I think maybe he feels that either Purdy understands the offense better, they can do more things with him. Yeah. I'm not sure. And certainly I think it was over Jimmy Garoppolo because I think there were some limitations to Jimmy. Now, these guys, it feels like there's some more options out there with all of them, but Purdy seems to be the one.
Not for nothing, people also forget this a little bit. Jalen Hurts last year in that playoff game was 15-25, 121 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. They won 31-7. His average pass completion was 4.8 yards. Brock Purdy was 4 of 4 for 23 yards, average completion 5.8 yards, and he got hurt. I mean, he didn't miss a pass. It's very small sample size.
Yeah.
But remember, you're coming off of a blowout win against Seattle, the Ezekiel Elliott game against Dallas, and then you're going up against the Eagles.
I like how you refer to that now.
The Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
Yes. The Elliott should be a thing. And then, and I'm not here to say that if Brock Purdy had played the whole game, he would have won. But you're talking about a guy that did not lose a regular season game. You're talking about a guy that ran through his first 2 opponents in the playoffs, good teams, especially Seattle, and started out against Philly in that vaunted defense 4 of 4. Mm-hmm. I know it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing, and I'm not the guy to take anything from Philadelphia. Guess what? They didn't cheat. They won. They won fair and square. But when you start out 4 for 4, and you have that kind of record behind you, that type of team in front of you, I'll tell you right now, if you ask me to go back and Purdy never gets hurt and I got to bet one way or the other, I'm betting on the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
So then maybe here's the other thing with Kyle Shanahan. Okay, here's the difference. We win that game with Purdy, and maybe he truly believes that. But without Purdy, we lost 31-7.
Yeah.
That is a demonstrable difference made with what Christian McCaffrey still played, Deebo Samuel still played, Brandon Ayuk still played, George Kittle still played. You take that one player out, and granted, you replaced him with Josh Johnson.
Yeah, but if Darnold's there, if Lance is there, how are you feeling about that? Probably better, but I don't know if they win.
I don't know that they win either, and I think that's the question because I don't know. But you're dang right. I feel a heck of a lot better. And by the way, Josh Johnson coming off the bench. I mean, Josh Johnson was eating Ruffles and watching, All in the Family reruns or something. And
interesting choice for him.
He gets called off the bench out of nowhere. That poor guy. He still goes 7 of 13 for 74 yards. He was sacked a couple of times. Obviously, got the concussion. That was just tough. And I know they're very much looking forward to a rematch.
Yes.
Very much looking forward to a rematch. And again, all props to the Eagles. Had you told me Jalen Hurts would go for 121 yards with no touchdowns thrown, if you'd have told me that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown would combine for 64 yards on 6 catches, aren't we thinking the Niners are beating them 31-7?
Yeah.
Would have never thought it would come on the ground. Never thought. In the end, the Niners just didn't have the energy for it. That's the bottom line. They should have gone to American Energy. I mean, my goodness gracious, people. Come on. Listen to me time and time and time again. I got you. I got you covered. But I got you covered. I mean, all I'm doing is sending you over to my friends. AmericanEnergyAir.com. That's a locally owned and operated company. I always love talking about that. These folks have been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A plus. Not A. Not A minus. A plus. Better Business Bureau rating. Now it's back to school. What does that mean? End of summer blowout on all their systems. Right now, $2,500 off full systems, with ones as low as $34 a week. They're offering a free Wi-Fi thermostat on high-efficiency units. I have one of those. They're great to be able to control I can control my temperature from my phone, and also I have an alarm on it in case my daughter decides to turn it down to God knows what. Yeah, it's the ultimate dad tool or mom tool. We all hate high thermostats. Call today to schedule your appointment, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Tell them your buddy Carmichael Dave sent you when we get back. As we are nearing halftime, Klay Thompson talking a little smack about the Kings fans. But by smack, I mean love. I'll tell you what he said next.
Need the latest on your Kings?
And Nerlens, in all fairness, I mean, he can protect the basket. Very unselfish player.
Looking for the freshest scoop on the Niners?
Trey Lance not being on the roster is an option for them. Why else would they have 4 quarterbacks around? But I don't think it's the most likely.
Want to find out the latest on the MLB playoff race?
I think Bailey has kind of been the glue to put this all together because you got to have an elite catcher to make a run at a late playoff push.
For all that and more, check out SactownSports.com.
At Ashton & Price over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's playing an August series at Dodger Stadium reminds us of the last time the A's played a series there. In 2020, because of COVID, the A's and the Astros matched up in the division series, and Dodger Stadium played like a launching pad. The clubs combined for 24 home runs in 4 games. The Astros beat the A's to advance to the championship series against Tampa Bay. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Sorry, I laughed because coming back from break, I was over here looking at something on my phone standing. It was just a rather close-up shot of my back. Pretty
nice.
Cool, pretty cool back.
Yeah.
Davey got back. No? Okay. Carmichael Dave, Jay Mars, Jason Ross. Playing a little adult contemporary from the 80s playlist yesterday. I think that's my favorite genre. There's a playlist on Spotify called Adult Contemporary. 80s Adult Contemporary is the blank, but it doesn't say blank. It says the bad word. I'm just rolling through, dude. Phil Collins into Hall & Oates.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I think the world needs the comeback of power ballads.
I 100% agree with you. Or remember when they used to put out the Monster Ballad CDs?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We need the monster ballads.
Like, what was that? Give me a song that could compare to I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. That's been out in the last 10, 20 years.
Again.
By the way, totally aware we sound super old right now. Deal with it.
But there's just not that kind of music being put out.
I have to pick and choose. Like, one of the best songs I've heard in the last 10 years is a song. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a song called The Story of My Life by One Direction. I really, really like that song. It's a good song. It's a good kind of ballady song. I didn't know it was One Direction. And then it's like, I've said this before, when your mom sneaks the deer meat in the stew and you say afterwards, it's great. And then she goes, it's deer. You can't go, ugh.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was One Direction. I just knew it was a good song. Where is that now? Where are the power ballads?
Bring them back. Maybe we should make one as a show.
I think so too.
It's a good idea.
And don't hit me with
your best shot.
What's that song? What's that band? The 1975. Every time they're like, oh, here's a new rock band or whatever. It's not. I mean, it is. It's new, but yeah, it's not great.
How can it be new if it's 1975?
Where's Oh Sherry?
With Steve
Perry.
Steve Perry. And it should have been gone. Where's that? Where's Love Is on the Way by Saigon Kick? Where is Heaven by Warrant?
Mix 96.
Where is Silent Lucidity in Queensryche? But wait, there's more. There's none of that.
I just realized you're drinking AM PM coffee. I don't know why.
Here's why.
It matches your hair so much. You look like gas station coffee guy this morning right now.
I learned something this morning, by the way, at AM PM when I was on my way.
Too much good stuff?
I never did. No, not enough.
Oh, well, that's not their tagline.
I got Matumboed. I never knew this before. The whole thing's happening with the thing and whatever. And I found $20 cash in by one of our by the door. There's a 20 there. I think my wife brought home. We never have cash around the house, so I grabbed the 20 on the way out. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy some of them lottery tickets, right? So I go to get I go, hey, can I get $20 in Powerball or whatever? And the guy says, yeah, we can't sell them till 6 a.m.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I guess there's a cutoff. You say you can't sell them before 6. I'm thinking, why? This is why you always have lines out the door. Why can't I buy a lottery ticket at 5 a.m.?
You're going for the big one?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Probably not going to win.
Why? Well, you're not going to win if you don't play.
That is true. You can't catch fish pulling on the water, as my dad always used to say. And you can't hear a compliment about the Kings if morning show is not there to relay it to you.
See, you had it with the on the water thing and Klay Thompson since he takes a boat to practice because he's rich.
I think it's just because he's Klay. He does different things.
He does.
No, it's because he's Klay, but also like you can't be broke and take a boat to work.
A rowboat.
Not even that. Those are expensive.
Klay Thompson.
Dingy.
said some good things about the Sacramento
Sure
Kings, about the Kings, about Kings fans, and also he was appearing on
Paul George.
Paul George, thank you, his podcast. And they were going through young shooters. And
or just shooters, I think.
Yeah. And shooters in general. And why am I blanking on Clippers guy?
Paul George.
Why do I keep wanting to say Paul Pierce? And I know that's wrong. I think this AM/PM coffee.
Paul Pierce played for the Clippers.
That's right. I remember that. Look, here's
good on your grid, Jay.
You got one guy talking about Keegan Murray and how great he is, and then you got Klay Thompson talking about Kings fans in general and how rad they are.
By the way, we fought though. We beat a tough Sacramento team. I mean, that was crazy last year. You could tell they hadn't been in the playoffs in 16 years. Like, god damn, they was loud. I haven't heard of that loud since Cleveland days, like 2016. Game 6 in the finals. It was loud in there. And they're a pesky team. They got some quick guards and some bonus. So it was good beating them. I'm sure they won't be going nowhere with Mike B at the helm, but it was tough. That Lakers series was tough. Proud of the way we fought, though. We made it.
It's nice.
Yeah. Very complimentary of the fans and the quick guards and Sabonis.
And that's the second time a Warrior this summer has complimented Kings fans, because you had Steph Curry talking about them at the golf tournament,
right?
And how great that was. Here's Klay and Paul talking about their shooters and who they'd throw in.
All right. So I can't pick myself now at the 3. Otherwise,
you know what? I just remembered. I think at some point, I think one of them says like, that MF can shoot. I think I'll send you the link. I'm pretty sure there's a sweary in there, but Paul George grabs Keegan Murray.
Yes, he
does. Calls
him
a sleeper. And then Klay talks about how he didn't feel comfortable leaving him unguarded. And that he hopes he's not just like a 1-year show up guy, and he doesn't think he will be. Talked about the fact that he can shoot, whether he's open or whether he's got somebody on him, and he's always nervous when he sees him by himself, and that he hit it, showed up on the world stage like that. It was quite impressive. So some very good complimentary things about really the Kings in general.
Yeah, well, in 1 year for me on Keegan, he went from we weren't certain, because you still hear the quote unquote experts' opinions on the Kings draft, and they thought Keegan Murray went too high. So that's what you're hearing, and then you see him play a great summer league. But that was encouraging. Then you see him with the team, and he went from he's starting to being a nice piece to being an important piece, to where when he shot the ball, Dave, I thought it was going in every time. And his efficiency, his effectiveness, he became such a good part of the offense. And if he can grow even more, that's what's so exciting to me as year 2 of Keegan Murray.
I think so too. And look, there's a reason why people say sophomore slump,
Mm-hmm.
because it happens. It's tough for me to believe that's going to happen with Keegan. It really is.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like he
hit the rookie wall, really.
No, or even, for lack of a better term, showed everything. Like I didn't claim to watch every game of Paolo Banchero, who won Rookie of the Year, and he had a great year. But he was asked to do a ton, and I'm not saying he can't do more, but he kind of put a lot of it out there already. I think there's more layers to Keegan's game that weren't shown, maybe even by design or just because he didn't have to. Now I think they want him to, and if he can do that to go along with his high-level shooting and just now more comfort around the league, I think he can be great.
Well, and we don't talk about it enough, Jason, but to your point, that may be the most unmeasurable yet possibly most impressive part of Keegan Murray's rookie year. How many rookies? Think about it. And maybe this is part of his journey to Iowa as well, that how many rookies come into the league, especially a top 5 pick? You're the best player on your team your whole life. You come in, you're generally on a bad team if you're picked that high. How many rookies, past and present, would be like, I've got to do things. I have to shoot this. I have to do this. I have to get more involved because I have to prove my worth. I'm the new kid here. I have to prove a lot of things, so I'm going to force a lot of stuff. And Keegan was like, I'm on a good team, which, by the way, they didn't know they were a good team going in. This is a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 16 years, but he quickly was able to ascertain, I'm on a good team. There's other people here. I don't feel any pressure to prove myself. I don't feel any ego at all. I'm literally going to do everything I can off the ball, and I'm going to do my best to fit in. And it turns out that, and again, it's always an oversimplification of what he did, but I'm going to stand in the corner, and when they get me the ball and I'm open, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to make the thing. And for him to have the presence of mind and really discipline and maturity to allow himself to stay within himself,
right,
also tells me, like how he said to Coach Brown a few times, like, I got more. That
hey, Coach, I got wiggle.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, we're going to see some of that wiggle next year, and it goes to a different level. And we've talked about this before. A lot of it's on the coaching staff and his teammates. Like, it's on Sabonis and Fox, and you've seen the time Fox has spent with Keegan over the summer. They're
pushing him.
They're pushing him, and I got to imagine if he's got the team leader saying, "Dude, we want to ride your coattails a little bit," that's going to do nothing but give him confidence. Speaking of Fox, by the way, clips put out by his wife or say of him working out with Luke Laux in Spain right now. They're out in Spain having a summer trip. And who was it? I think it was somebody online. I forget who. I want to give them credit. Said that Bielitsa joined him.
Really?
They were working out together.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't know if Keegan's over there too. I know they were inseparable for most of the.
Yeah.
Keegan was basically the babysitter.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, he's just, we still see Keegan on the sideline just in Spain.
Wasn't he just here doing a golf thing?
Yeah, he was. Him and Malik Monk.
Yeah, him and Malik Monk. You're exactly right. Plus,
Also, Luke Laux have one of the best gigs. Just travel around with De'Aaron Fox to Spain, help him shoot.
it's not his full name, by the way.
De'Aaron?
No, Luke.
Oh, is it Lucas Laux?
Florida State's Luke Laux.
His parents named him Florida State.
Literally changed his legal name to Florida State.
His daddy named him Forrest too.
Does
it have an apostrophe? States.
It's a schwa. I mean, ampersand. I don't know.
Walt Schwa.
when we get back,
ampersand Luke Laux. Interesting.
When we come back, let's get into our previews. We'll go to the North again, AFC North. John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens. We'll do that next.
Jimmy G and the Raiders take on the 49ers Sunday, August 13th from Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
And Sactown Sports has all your coverage.
Kyle's offense versus Josh's offense, just different mindset behind it. So I think revamping the mind like that is the first step, and then just relearning the language. Basically like going Spanish to French, something like that.
The voice of the Niners, Greg Papa, has the kickoff at 1 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
Your home for the 49ers.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We have a comfortable start to your Tuesday thanks to a ramp up in that Delta breeze. It's that steady breeze today. It'll keep temperatures down. Expect daytime highs upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $79. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings' Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooh, Ma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The sack, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line, quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Pritchett has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis, the throw home, swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at SactownSports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to PowerCopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
I don't often do this with the platform, though. I'm going to take advantage of it. If you would, listening, if you care at all, I would appreciate a good thought today. Keep me in your thoughts, if you will, and send positive vibes. Later today, somewhere around 2 o'clock, a bit of personal news. I'll be going to IKEA with my wife.
Good luck.
Yeah, dude. Thoughts and prayers accepted and needed.
What's the plan? Like you going in with like an idea of trying to get something, or just
what is the plan? Jason?
Looking at stuff.
Yeah, what is the plan? Because if you and I were going to IKEA together,
it's like, hey, we're looking at a dresser.
We got a plan.
Yeah, there's no plan.
The plan is we're going to get things at IKEA. Now, What do you
think you need?
Okay, so we are going there specifically to look for a coffee table.
Okay, so it starts with that,
and perhaps a throw rug.
I don't think you're going to get the coffee table, and you're going to get a bunch of other stuff.
She's highly motivated to get a coffee table because she ordered a coffee table off of Amazon, and then last weekend we went to go put it together, and it was about 25% of the size she thought it was. I mean, they do put dimensions in the description, but hey, that's just a guide apparently. Yeah. So that got sent back. She's highly motivated to get a coffee table for this thing, and we need a throw rug. Now, how much do you want to bet that one or more of the following is going to happen? Either A, we don't get one or both. We just look. B, we're going to get a bunch of crap today. There's no doubt about it. How much of that is going to be not what we went there for?
Probably a lot, but are you going to spend some time in the kitchen gadget area?
I mean, probably, but because she.
But it's okay because I'm getting it.
She's going to be over there going down aisle 604.
Yeah.
Where they've got the, look, this is a vase with a flower coming out of it. That would look good in the corner. Okay, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah. It's for the throw rug.
Look, a pen holder.
Well, Do you have one like that?
Nothing against IKEA, but IKEA, excuse me, as we move on here. IKEA is the spicy food of retail shopping, because not only are you going through a little bit of pain in the process, but it's what happens afterwards that's even more painful.
More pain.
Because the hot spot, if you will, that you experience is not sphinctorial. It is with having to assemble everything.
Have you ever successfully done it?
I have.
Yeah.
I also am not allowed to assemble anymore.
Why?
Because
past failures?
Because we got, well, first off, our dining room table, the legs are still inside out. It's a true story. Like it looks like
it works,
like industrial kind of design, but if you sit down and you look at our dining room table, you can see the screws on the outside. I twisted the thing wrong, whatever. But no, it was a stereo shelfy thing. I don't know, whatever. And this thing wasn't fitting, and I tried to fit it too much, and I snapped it. And then I got really angry, and I just threw it all in the backyard. I was like, I'm done with this. I get very angry at these things. So
I know what your day is ahead like.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Kyle. AFC North preview, Baltimore Ravens. John Harbaugh begins his 16th.
That's amazing.
It really is, and only 2 losing seasons.
He's been really good. I mean, he really has for that organization as one of the better coaches in the NFL.
If Bill Belichick is the gold standard, which, by the way, and maybe some people are questioning that now, but I think still. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, A1.
Or Andy Reid.
Oh, you're right. You know what? You're absolutely
But that's probably the Mount
level,
Rushmore
right?
currently right now.
I think so.
I mean, there's other coaches that have won Super Bowls, but longevity, success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And, every once in a while you hear like, oh, is John Harbaugh ready to... Okay.
Consistently has a good defense.
Consistently.
And where they were different was when, like Lamar Jackson's winning an MVP. Like that looked like a pretty special offense. They haven't been that great. I don't know how much Beckham will help them, but good division, like we said yesterday when we were talking about the Bengals. So the Ravens are going to have to rely on that great defense and hopefully have the best version of Lamar Jackson.
Well, and you wonder, what are they giving Lamar Jackson? And, despite a guy that rolls in and says he should be a wide receiver every once in a while, look, it's tough to question Lamar Jackson in the sense that, he consistently last year was a rougher year for him. There's no doubt about that.
Injuries too.
There were definitely injuries that factored in. He missed 5 games. He also missed 5 games the year before. But this is a guy whose passing output has gone down and down. Last year was, other than his rookie year, last year was the least efficient year he had passing the ball. Also had 7 picks, which is just off his career high of 13 in 2021. Now, you're also talking about a guy that routinely rushes when he's healthy for over 1,000 yards. He did that twice. And then the last 2 years, even missing 5 games, still rushed for over 760 yards. But then it's, what are you giving him? And obviously they are investing, as you said, in that defense. He's got Mark Andrews, who is, again, speaking of tiers, if it's Travis Kelce / George Kittle in 1 and 1A, Mark Andrews is right there. He's tremendous. But he's thrown to Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., and Zay Flowers.
That's not murderer's row. I mean, Beckham, what version of him could really help, but we'll see.
I'm very curious to see what Zay Flowers can do for Lamar Jackson. I watched this kid at Boston College. He's 22 years old. He was a first-round pick this year. I watched this kid at Boston College, being a Florida State guy, and just kept an eye on him. And he is spectacularly good, or was in college, and his separation is insane. I'll be very curious to see, they're talking about this guy being maybe a Hollywood Brown replacement.
That'd be nice.
I think his ceiling is higher than Brown's is, and Brown had a pretty decent, has had a pretty decent career. But now you're also looking at J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Melvin Gordon. They're other than Andrews and Jackson, their skill positions, and again, Flowers remains to be seen, but their skill positions are a little questionable. Dobbins has no timetable to return to practice. He's hurting right now. So you don't know if he's going to be ready by week 1 or if they're going with a Gus Edwards, Justice Hill platoon. And that's the thing. You have a superstar in Lamar Jackson, but we don't know how good he is yet because he's been surrounded. And this is a forgotten team.
Yeah.
They really are a forgotten team.
For being as good as they've been, consistently good. Now, not great, but good. And they're playoff worthy usually, like we just gave there. I mean, I think 10 of the 15 years that he's been a head coach, the Ravens have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've gotten to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. It's a really good organization.
Very good organization.
But it feels like there's something left out there still with them. It's missing.
Since they brought in Lamar Jackson. Well, it wasn't Lamar Jackson 2018. I thought he was.
He was that rookie class.
Yeah, 2018.
Uh-huh.
So 2018, 45, 53, 53 and 29.
Wow.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, it is.
And made the playoffs every year but 2021 when they were 8-9, the only year below 500. That was, again, his worst season here in the NFL. So I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. This is a very difficult team to pick or to predict. I don't know what Odell Beckham Jr. has over a full season.
Yeah, and then when we talk about all these AFC teams that we're previewing too, you just think about that conference is so loaded with great quarterbacks, and there's a time like quarterback tiers kind of shift.
Yes,
like Mahomes is so great because he stayed there. He's number one. I don't think anybody really questions that. But other people slide in and slide out of there. There was a time where Lamar Jackson was maybe considered maybe top 2, top 3, top 4 quarterback. And he's not there right now, but he has that ability.
Right.
So that's the thing. I mean, like if he plays where he limits his turnovers, stays healthy, runs effectively enough, and then throws it, how good is that team then? I mean, that's the best version of the Ravens.
I completely agree. And when you look at where the Ravens are in the AFC North, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. I don't know what the Browns or Steelers are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We do know the Bengals, again, assuming Joe Burrow is back and healthy and fine. That's the class of the division. But if you told me the Ravens, Jason, were going to be 11-6, 12-5,
I'd say probably believe it. But then would you pick them, though, to get through the AFC?
No,
probably not.
No.
It's like, this is a good team, and they're the 2 seed. Yeah, they'll probably come up short.
And at some point, you look at it and you go, "There's water being treaded here."
Yeah.
And I don't know that they're there yet, but there will be questions after this season if they don't make some headway into the playoffs. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go over north again. The Detroit Lions, the Sacramento Kings of the NFL last year, the darlings, if you will. What's in store for them this year? We'll talk about that next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Players of all abilities will tell you that Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is the area's #1 course for fun. Whether you're a beginner or an accomplished player, Bartley Kavanaugh has something for you. It's a great walking course, but motorized carts are available too. The moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas will add to your satisfaction and smiles for the day. Near the banks of the picturesque Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh features the brand new tap room for all your beverage needs. For tea times, visit bartleycavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, hopefully the New York Jets, I know they have higher expectations, but I think if they could be this year's version of the Detroit Lions out of Hard Knocks.
Oh, get the Hard Knocks boost.
There was an interesting preview clip of Hard Knocks yesterday. It was Aaron Rodgers on the headset.
Yeah, calling the play. And just when it went and it went right, he was just over the moon. Yeah.
You could really see that can't be
We
fake.
got the deep shot down the sideline if he takes it.
And he took it.
Perfect.
It was a perfect
Great
pass.
throw.
And
yeah.
Aaron was over the moon. He was very happy. Year 3 for Dan Campbell. One of the things I really like about Dan Campbell, look, there's this new breed of coach. I know he's not in there right now, but the Cliff Kingsbury, the Kyle Shanahan, the Mike Miami, former Niners. McDaniel. Thank you. I want to say McDowell. Of I don't want to call them like NFL nerds, but not your prototypical NFL coach.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell is like the throwback prototypical Mike Vrabel, same thing, just like, I'm gonna chew and I'm going to yell and while I'm spitting in my spit cup and I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna motivate and just all this crazy
eating kneecaps. What was his thing?
I don't know what it was. He apparently this is no joke. He wanted a live lion.
Yes.
On the sidelines. And I don't know if it was the Lions organization or the players. Somebody turned it down.
Maybe the Lion did.
Maybe the Lion said no.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. You can't. No, it's not Slamson. You could. Why couldn't you just get a big cage and put him in? I guess it would block some views or something. But here's my thing, right? Why not just get a giant cage for the lion? And just so you don't block anyone's views, put it, suspend it to where it's right underneath the scoreboard. And the lion's, looking out.
What could go wrong?
Pacing back and forth the whole time. But if the lion's afraid of heights and you do that and you don't test it out and it's just the whole time the lion's, in a ball shaking, probably not the message you want to throw out there. Either way, Dan Campbell took a team that was 3-13-1 to 9-8.
Yeah. And a fun team.
A very fun team, which worries me a little bit, Jason Ross.
Why?
Well, because a big part of that fun, I think, was Jamal Williams.
Okay.
And he is gone. DeAndre Swift, he is gone.
Yeah.
There are some losses here.
Well, I feel like the part of the fun, too, is let's parallel it a little bit to the Kings again. Long drought for the Lions.
Yes.
Long drought for the Sacramento Kings. The come up this last year was fun for Sacramento. Everything was new and fresh and exciting, and they surprised a lot of people. The Lions did the same thing. 9-8. It was a fun year. They took some chances, had a great offense.
Yes.
Not so much defense, but, a resurgence for Jared Goff. Amon-Ra St. Brown became a household name. They were fun, but now you got to build on it and not be the fun surprise team, be a team with substance that lasts again.
That's exactly right. And I think, Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of my favorite young players in the NFL. Yeah. He's absolutely electric. It was fun watching him and his brother, Equinemius St. Brown of the Bears go at it in a game last year. The resurgence of Jared Goff, who was a castaway. Imagine his feeling, former #1 pick.
Yeah, dealt already.
Just dealt, booted. They bring in Matt Stafford. He wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff sitting there I still have something left. And all he did last year, Jason, was throw for 4,400 yards and 29 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. That is a full-on Pro Bowl, all-pro style season.
Yeah, and you brought up Campbell earlier. It's funny. I feel like he's a little bit of a hybrid of the coaches. He played, and so he's that old. He's the yeller and tough, and football, we smash each other. We're going to get up and smash them again.
Yes.
But then he's also a little bit in that game theory analytics mode where it's like 4th and 6 at our own 24. Yeah, we're going for it. And where you're going, like who's the Charger? Brandon Staley. He like famously goes for 4th down after 4th down after 4th down.
Right.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It does not.
But I think Campbell's a hybrid of that old school 1980s coach with also the current, I'm going to go for 2 points here because I'm going to go for 2 points.
Yes.
It just does it.
I think he's also trying to, and the numbers didn't show it, obviously, last year with the defense. But Dan Campbell, I feel like, is trying to do something that is also I think it's one of my favorite topics, and I also think it's maybe one of the toughest things to explain in sports. And that is how many, many times you see a team mirror the city it's in.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's really weird how that happens. Like LA Lakers, Showtime, Glitz and Flash, Boston Celtics, blue collar. We're going to play the Detroit bad boys, like super blue collar and like Pittsburgh. That team is always Pittsburghy.
Yeah.
They're just always Pittsburghish.
Tough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think he's trying to do the same thing with Detroit. We're the underdogs. Nobody cares about us. Nobody wants to play here. You're all a bunch of cast-offs. Nobody cares about you. This is last chance of you. Let's go out there to us against the world. And that is the most powerful thing in sports.
Yeah, except for I care about you, so I'm going to make sure you get the best out of you, or I get the best out of you. And, they were a great story. They were fun. And it was cool because Detroit has just been down for so long.
Yes.
And they'll sneak in and have a playoff year. They did a couple with Stafford, but then, 1-15 and 2-14, and it's been rough for them.
Well, if you really think about it too, just when you say Detroit has been down for so long, yes, Detroit.
Yes. No, I'm not talking Lions, just Detroit.
The whole the city and Chris Granger, I love you and all that. He's out there making things move. But first off, Detroit, not a destination city. Let's just say that.
Okay, your opinion.
The coolest thing to come out of Detroit in the last decade probably is Eminem's movie. You've got the Lions that suck perennially. The Pistons have sucked pretty badly for the last
Hey, it's okay. The Tigers. Oh,
wait.
Yeah.
All their sports teams are terrible.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the city. So then you get somebody like the Lions, and what that does, and again, being Sacramentans, we get this. Nobody wants to come to your city. Everybody hates it. Everybody thinks it's a joke. Nobody wants to play in your city. You lose all the time. All that. What happens the moment a team with players that come in, a coach that comes in and really starts to change the culture? Now all of a sudden it's like we have so much pride locked up, and we want to love you with our pride. We want to exude this pride that we have. And you saw a lot of that last year. Now, they surprised some teams last year.
Yeah.
Not happening this year.
No, and then the division now, okay, thank goodness for them. Aaron Rodgers is gone.
Yes.
Packers seem a little more vulnerable. The Bears are in that retooling phase. And then Minnesota has been solid and a good team. It has been one of the better teams in that division, but it seems like they could be gettable. So Detroit's got to feel like, based on what they did last year, based on some of the love they're getting. Look, we just mentioned it earlier, Dave. They're playing that first game of the year.
Yes.
For all the exposure. They already get the Thanksgiving day as kind of their day too. So Chiefs, Lions to start the season. Could you imagine if they surprise and win that first game?
Oh my goodness gracious.
To kind of feel an attention and just feel good for that community and that team would have if they win. And they don't have to win that game, but if they did, that'd be a great start to the year.
If they did, it would be a great start. And heck, I think even if they kept it, even if they were right there at the end, there's a lot to build on there. But there were some injuries. Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery comes over from the Bears. Justin Jackson, no, not that Justin Jackson. Yes, the other Justin Jackson. That's your running back crew. Marvin Jones Jr. is one of those guys that just Sammy Watkins-esque. He can be really good and he can disappear sometimes. And then when you talk about that schedule, you're right. That NFC North does not look to be a good division outside of Minnesota, who will probably, do their regular 11-6, whatever that is. But they start out KC, home Seattle, home Atlanta, and then they begin a lot of their divisional play. It's not a terribly difficult schedule for the Lions. I think if they're as good as they are last year on the field, they're probably 10-7, 11-6. But that's That's a tough nut to crack. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go around the diamond. Let's talk about Kevin Brown. No, not that Kevin Brown either. The Orioles young broadcaster suspended yesterday, and why this is such an absolute travesty for the world of broadcast sports. We'll do that next.
Will Brandon Ayuk emerge as a star in the Bay this season?
Now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk.
Can Fred Warner lead the Niners defense to another deep playoff run?
And Fred Warner with the INT.
Pick City, baby.
Will Brock Purdy hold on to his starting quarterback job?
Purdy going to drop back to pass, try to run forward and go to the end zone standing.
Down and Purdy, baby.
Tune into Niners at 9 every day on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sactown Sports and Sactownsports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Relive racing history with hundreds of historic race cars at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion, August 16 to 19. Hundreds of the best, from the high-revving Formula One Ferraris and Lotuses to the ground-pounding thunder of the Cobras and Corvettes. Meet legendary drivers, indulge in delicious food and refreshing beverages, and take a spin on the Ferris wheel or go-kart to add to the family experience. VIP hospitality passes to the Legends Club are still available. Buy your tickets now at WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Get ready for a night with Cole Swindell. The 2023 ACM Song of the Year winner hits Hard Health Park at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Saturday, September 9th for the CITP2 Fest. And Cole's bringing some friends like Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, Matt Stell, and more. Tickets start at $40 at CITPFest.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The sack, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line, quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Pritchett has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis, the throw home, swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at Sactownsports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to powercopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests can view via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Hockey guy texted in during the break was like, what about the Detroit Red Wings?
They're on fire. I don't know.
I mean, it's hockey. That's big out there, I guess. But last time they won the cup was 07-08.
Ugh, come on,
right?
Detroit.
That's still 15 years ago. I mean, come on. Let's go, Wings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, another day. And apparently another sports announcer gets himself in hot water.
Yeah. Can't be saying these things.
Kevin Brown of the Orioles. I don't know what he was thinking going in.
Yeah.
We have his comments. I'm going to play right now.
Are they safe to play?
Well, we've edited what we can.
Good,
if you've got kids in the car, parental discretion advised. Warning. This could be triggering. Here's Kevin Brown.
It is completely safe for work.
Kevin Brown talking, and this got him suspended indefinitely. Here's what he said.
Brandon Hyde has felt like this has been maybe the toughest ballpark to play in, but the Orioles have a chance to do something special today. They've already clinched at least a split in the series, winning 2 of the first 3, and they could pick up a series win behind Tyler Wells today.
By the way, that's their music, not ours. It's not a mistake.
It's been a minute. The Orioles split a 2-gamer with the Rays in June. They had lost their last 15 series here at Tropicana Field. You have to go back to when our now colleague Brad Brock picked up the win in the series finale, June 25th, 2017, the last time the Orioles won a series here at St. Pete. Already got 3-2 at the Trop this year after winning 3 of 18 the previous 3 years combined. It is a stark difference, Ben, and it is not a bad Rays team. It's not like all of a sudden the Rays became slouches in the American League East. They've led this division every day, but now 2, and the Orioles once again are back alone in first place.
Man,
I'm offended. The music, was he playing the piano? Is that what was happening?
What is he even thinking, Jason? Now, I'm going to do something that I normally do not do. I'm going to give all of you listening the same benefit I got. Now, if you were listening to that and you were saying, what did I miss? The answer is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play these comments again, but I want to give you the actual context. That's lead play-by-play voice Kevin Brown, one of the better young talents in the league when it comes to play-by-play. He's been off the airwaves since calling the end of the team series against the Rays July 23rd. He's shifted to radio, but has been off the air entirely since the 26th. He's been suspended indefinitely. Reportedly by John Angelo, son of Peter, now the operator of the Baltimore Orioles. And if you're wondering what the comment was, quote, the Orioles have won more games against the Rays this season than the last 2 combined. That apparently was too negative for John Angelos, who has also mandated that all broadcasters wear all team gear while broadcasting. And maybe the weirdest twist to this entire story, the entire report was confirmed. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Did you have Roy Firestone on your bingo card today? Roy Firestone, who all of us old heads will remember, hosted a show called Up Close on ESPN from 1980 to 94. And as a lifelong Oriole fan, was a bat boy for the team growing up. He confirmed it on the message board Orioles Hangout that this was all an issue. Now, according to the Athletics' Brittany Garoli, Brown was taken off the air over his comments ahead of that Rays game. He was only on radio for the Phillies series because, quote, multiple sources briefed on the decision say ownership has enacted a new policy mandating their broadcasters wear only team gear while on air. That snafu led to Brown filling in on radio after his comments in the Rays series because another broadcaster got in trouble Also, broadcasters have been reprimanded previously for mentioning past Oriole players who are no longer with the team. Now, in this day and age of state-run media, propaganda, fake news, look, this is baseball.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. But your house has no mirrors. You know what I'm saying? If I understand, if you're a broadcaster working for the team and you go out and you say, well, this team is lost forever because the owner's stupid and he's defrauding the fans, yeah, that's a problem. There are lines.
Right.
But if all you're doing is reading statistics in an upbeat manner.
Well, if anything, too, when I heard it again, I mean, watched it a couple times yesterday because, again, I thought it was, I didn't have the right clip. I didn't understand. Wait, this couldn't have gotten him suspended. When I heard it this time, I actually took it the other way in a sense of like, this is way more complimentary to this year's Orioles team.
Yes.
It's like they have struggled factually in Tampa, but this year is different. And they have now won, X amount of games. They've split the series here. They're now in first place because this Rays team has been there. Look, they're no slouch. I'm like, these are all compliments to the current Orioles team.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Gary Cohen, the Mets broadcaster, weighed in.
Let me just say one thing to Baltimore Orioles management. You draped yourself in humiliation when you fired John Miller, and you're doing it again. And if you don't want Kevin Brown, there are 29 other teams who do. It's a horrendous decision by the Orioles. I don't know what they were thinking, but they've gotten exactly the reaction that they deserve. And it's just a shame because the Orioles are playing so well, and now they've diverted attention from that.
At the end of 1996, John Miller, now the Giants broadcaster for a long time, made then owner Peter Angelos displeased. He was displeased with Miller's often candid commentary on the Orioles' play. So they decided to not renew his contract, wanting a broadcaster that, quote, bled more orange and black. So Miller went to the other orange and black.
Yeah.
His hometown.
He's still bleeding that.
San Francisco Giants. I thought Michael Kay, the Yankees announcer, had a tremendous breakdown. Here's what he had to say.
They should be ashamed of themselves because not only was what Kevin said in the Oriole notes that night, but it was on a graphic, which means that it was planned. So if you're going to be so thin-skinned to suspend Kevin Brown, then you have to suspend the entire Oriole truck, the producer, director, graphics. You have to suspend all of them because they're all complicit in this. And if John Angelos, the owner of the Orioles, didn't like that, then he's thin-skinned, he's unreasonable, and he should actually get a call from Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, because it's unconscionable that you would actually suspend a really good broadcaster for no reason whatsoever. He didn't do anything wrong. And you know that music that starts playing in the cut that you played, Peter? That means a graphic has come up. So the graphic had already been printed out, and you said this earlier. This is not how it works. Kevin Brown doesn't say it, and somebody who's running graphics in the truck could put together a graphic in 2 seconds. That's put together an hour before that happens. And you're going to suspend this guy for saying that, which wasn't even negative. Again, then everybody in the Oriole PR department has to be suspended. It was in their notes. That very thing was in their notes. This makes the Orioles look so small and insignificant and minor league. And, of course, they don't comment on personnel matters. And they didn't say they fired the guy. They suspended him. But can you imagine how that guy must feel? He has to keep his mouth shut. He can't criticize the Orioles because they don't get fired. So, of course, we look forward to Kevin coming back. But you embarrassed the guy for no reason. And, most importantly, you embarrassed yourself. What you did is disgraceful to the business. Disgraceful. Fans of teams should be lucky when their announcers are allowed to be critical. And that wasn't even critical, Peter. I believe that was complimentary of the Orioles.
It's so crazy.
It's such a small look. Oh, small man.
Yeah, it really is.
I think he nailed it.
100%. And
there's a team involved in it. It's in the notes. It was more complimentary than critical. And not even critical. I don't even think it's fair to even say critical. There's nothing critical in there.
There's nothing critical in there.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of those, plug your ears and la, 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 la. Like the Orioles have been terrible.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not thanks to ownership. the Orioles, I believe, have the second lowest payroll in the league. We were talking about this the other week. Like the Orioles, they're still cheap. You're talking about a pretty darn decently sized market.
Yeah.
And they're still right just above the A's in payroll. Yet their personnel and their drafting and the owner is still as crappy as he was 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry that you're sensitive. Spend some money. Get off your wallet, ding dong.
Right.
But you do this to your broadcaster, and here's their statement. We don't comment on personnel matters. We look forward to hearing Kevin's voice soon. And additionally, they're disputing the reporting that any suspension took place.
Well, where is he?
You decided to take a 2-week vacation in the middle of the season? Okay.
Oh, the best season Baltimore's had in years? I don't think so.
And imagine being an Orioles fan, a diehard Orioles fan. Like, come on.
Yeah, everything should be happy, positive, feeling good. I'm sure they love him as an announcer. He's part of their team. And that's just unfortunate. Then you get all of baseball. I think it was funny that he said, well, you expect Rob Manfred's not going to
do anything.
But it's good that all these other people are speaking up.
By the way, and in defense of Rob Manfred picked up the phone. Hey, Mr. Angelos, this looks pretty bad. Tough.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to run my team. You work for me. Shut up.
Exactly.
Bobby, click. That's how that call would go. Yeah. So there's nothing
Bobby.
There's nothing the commissioner can do. The only thing that anybody can do would be the fans.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Because by the time they organize anything, Brown will be back, you would think.
Yeah.
And it's just incredibly stupid. And honestly, makes you appreciate the ownership. I mean, look, Vivek had that outlook. I would have lasted 5 minutes into the 16-year drought. Seriously, and many of us would have been down the drain. Imagine as listeners having to deal with that, where you literally, they joke all the time, you literally are mandated to not be negative. You can't be negative at all. Well, how? Orioles have been one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball the last few years. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? And Aaron Boone had some fun last night. We'll look back in history next.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I hear Post Malone's going to be doing the ESPN college football theme. How about that, huh?
It's not a great song. Chris played it for me during a couple breaks ago. It's, all those songs are very corny, very cringe. Exactly. I was literally going to say that.
I don't know why that one line used to drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Allie and Dan, they're the best on TV.
That song is absolutely terrible.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual Pi customer.
As a small business, we're always looking for ways that we can offer the quality product and get some cost savings.
Meet Michelle from J.J. Pfister Distilling Company, a small business in California. When looking for workers' comp coverage tailored to the company's needs, she discovered Pi Insurance.
We heard about Pi Insurance being geared for a small business, gave Pi a call, and ended up switching.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate, so your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
We saved about 30% off of our workers' comp insurance when we switched to Pi.
It's as easy as pie to get the savings you deserve. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Oh, guess who's hot?
Who's hot? Oh.
Hey, this guy's made an appearance on this segment once or twice. Shohei Otani.
Shohei Otani.
Yeah, you may have heard of him. First player in MLB history to record 40 home runs and 15 stolen bases in a team's first 115 games.
That's pretty good.
The only other player to do it within a team's first 120 games, Ken Griffey Jr. in 1998.
I heard of that guy.
Who's not?
Uh-oh.
His team. Not only are they 0-7 since the trade deadline, but last night they gave up 5 runs to the Giants in the 9th inning. Okay?
Yeah.
So let me set the table there. The Giants now won by 5 runs after entering the 9th inning, trailing. It's the first time they've done that in a game since May 29th of 1995 against a baseball team that doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
The Expos.
Expos. Remember that game?
I think Jay really likes the Angels' demise.
I think he does too.
Can I have to admit something as a lifelong Dodgers fan watching the 9th inning of that Giants-Angels game last night? I was rooting for the Giants just because I'm weirdly enjoying the demise of the Angels.
Why?
Because they're stupid.
But here, I guess here's my question. I can get the whole thing geographically, but like,
no, it's not even a geographical thing.
Why is the demise of the Angels to you greater than sign on the enjoyment scale the Giants losing? That's pretty rough that's crazy for a Dodger fan.
I know. And I was just like, God, come on. Let's go, G-Man. Got my little orange and black. I was like,
because he wants Shohei.
It's not that I just want Shohei. It's just like the incompetence around it kills me.
But what?
And I hate seeing rich, incompetent people. And I want to see them get their comeuppance. And this is them getting their comeuppance.
What if you knew that if Shohei Otani left the Angels, he'd come to the Giants?
Different
Would you still
story.
want them to fail? Yeah.
But I don't know that, so.
I've got a additional who's not for you, for the both of you.
Who?
This is a second-year wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, George Pickens.
Oh, why?
George Pickens let everybody know his top 5 wide receivers of all time.
Oh.
I'm going to start at 1 and work my way down.
That's no fun.
There's a reason.
Okay.
Number 1, Megatron.
Okay.
Sure.
A little different,
You've seen
but
that a little bit more generationally.
Right. Sure.
Number 2, Randy Moss.
Okay.
Randy Moss is generally 2 or 3 on most top 5
This
lists.
is fine so
He's a
far.
good player.
Number 3, thank you, Jason. Jerry Rice.
Okay.
All right.
At least, good. At least he made the list.
It seems generational.
Yeah,
It's fine.
It's probably 2 spots too low, but hey.
It's all right. He's there.
Number 4, Julio Jones.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Was really good at one time.
Yeah. It was really good.
it was good more than once. Number 5.
This better be good.
JJ Stokes.
Oh,
that's the right answer,
I'm going
Jay.
to tell you something.
Can we get some hints?
You're off, but you're not ridiculously off.
Brandon Lloyd.
Still playing?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Arnaz Battle.
What team?
I will say He's a former Niner. He's also a former Raider.
Michael Crabtree.
Crabtree, according to George Pickens,
Michael Crabtree had good hands.
is the 5th best receiver of all time.
Kind of into that.
Into what? The weed he obviously dove headfirst into an Olympic-sized pool and just ate the whole thing?
I mean, listen.
Bro.
Name someone else that should have been in instead of him. Anyone else.
Well, I guess the first thing I look at is I'm like, oh, hi, T.O. I have no explanation. Yeah, if you told me there were 2 Niners in the top 5, I would have walked away and be like, oh, yeah, Jerry and
Fred Taylor.
I mean, it's very difficult. I think there's no argument that Jerry Rice is number 1. I don't think there's any argument.
You could pick guys that are in the league now that are better than Michael Crabtree on the all-time list.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, there's no doubt to me that Rice is number 1. The best argument really is T.O. and Randy Moss for number 2, I think. That's a great argument. And I think T.O. is number 2, but I like Randy Moss more, so I'm fine with that.
Tim Brown, Torrey Holt,
right.
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce, a good one.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
Hell, Reggie Wayne's better than Michael Crabtree.
Let's look and just see. I have not looked at so far.
And then you can even throw in like
Chad Ochocinco.
Tight ends.
Let's look and see. Where does Michael Crabtree rank?
Travis Kelce.
George Kittle.
This can't be right. Am I looking? Okay. I'm trying to think. Where does Michael Crabtree rank when it comes
all time?
When it comes
catches or yards?
Well, let's go with yards. Let me bring up his stats so I can.
I don't think he ever made a Pro Bowl.
I think he had a good career. Just good.
I think he did too.
Solid.
Yep.
Right.
I think he did too.
And he's a good receiver.
Let's look at just some random players that had more receiving yards than Michael Crabtree.
Okay.
Vernon Davis.
Oh, VD.
Jarvis Landry.
Oh,
wow. He's still on looking for a team, by the way.
Golden Tate.
Better than Silver Tate.
Lavernius Coles, Florida State University.
Bimbo's brother.
Ricky Prohl.
He was a Pro Bowler.
My uncle,
was he?
Harold Carmichael.
Yes.
I love Harry.
Monty Toomer.
Oh.
Not a Tuma.
Joey Galloway. Just so you understand.
Galloway was good for a second.
He was great. He was fine. He was wonderful. Michael Crabtree is 132nd all time when it comes to receiving yards.
Well, that's not his fault.
Not at all.
Well, they didn't ask for the top 132.
Right, but he's and the only thing missing from here is is he honestly, are they related? Like, that's what I wonder. Like, is he a family friend? Is there in what world is Michael Crabtree a top 5 receiver?
George Pickens' world. It's his list. He's like, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna have 4 that make sense and 1 that's like my guy. I loved watching him play.
It's like everyone, like Dr. J's list. That's his list.
Yeah. Michael Crabtree, just to finish up here, he is 73rd in catches.
Okay, top 73 is good.
And only going down.
Right. And finally, when it comes to touchdowns, by the way, Jerry Rice leads all categories, just for funsies here. In touchdowns, Michael Crabtree is scrolling. 238th, tied with Clem Daniels and Floyd Little and Kevin Mack, of which I'm sure Whitey knows 3 of those guys.
Okay, well, maybe if Crabtree had Montana Young and Rich Gannon throwing to him, he'd have more touchdowns. He had Alex Smith and part of Colin Kaepernick.
I don't.
And Caw.
I mean, the guy got
David Caw. Derek
Caw.
Derek Caw. Don't do that.
Why?
Hurts.
Aaron Boone had a pretty good ejection last night. He mimicked the umpire.
Yeah, he did.
He yelled and screamed. He did lots. He got his money's worth. And we talked about this earlier. I miss these manager meltdowns. And I think we need more of them.
Would help the game?
I think it would absolutely help the game.
Do you remember the one years ago, minor leagues, I think it was the Braves, where the guy, I have no idea what manager it was, Furious, obviously, with some call, but like flip the hat backwards, argue, but then was like doing like army crawls, fake grenades.
What was that?
That one to me was just an all-timer. I don't even know what he was doing. It was like he was acting out his own movie.
What was the one where the umpire was like, kept saying like, "You put me in the jackpot" or something like that? Do you remember that? He kept saying, "I'm in the jackpot."
I don't remember that one.
But where's
do you like when they take a base?
Yes, I love when they take the base, walk off with it. It's your base now.
I think, which
Pinella did that.
Pinella did it. I remember the Pirates manager years ago did that.
I mean, probably we talked earlier about Pinella. We talked about Earl Weaver. How
Tommy Lasorda.
We're missing the grand champion, and shame on you, the grand champion of manager meltdowns, the father or godfather, if you will, of manager meltdowns, the undisputed
Billy Martin,
100%. Okay. Nobody melted down like Billy.
Yeah,
Billy Martin, rest his soul, would just lose it because Billy Martin was part crazy. Like, let's just be honest, man. Billy went out with Whitey and not Whitey, that Whitey Ford, Mickey Mantle, and Moose Scourin, and Hank Bauer, and Phil Rizzuto, and that whole crew. And they were at the Copacabana every night, and Mickey and Billy was pickling his head. He was just drinking and drinking and drinking. And I think there were a few times he was on the field, he was probably still a little bit buzzed and just went in. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Would it be different? I know baseball has been doing this forever, the tradition of managers wearing the uniform. What if they were wearing suits?
Oh, my
and they
God.
came out and were kicking dirt.
And I'm kind of here for that, too. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I'm not entirely sure. I kind of miss the NBA coaches being in suits.
Yeah.
Just saying. But the other part of it, too, is the poor baseball manager wearing a suit. And then you're, like, in Texas or St. Louis in July. Sure. That's just brutal.
Yeah.
Also,
they're still wearing a uniform. It's not like it's that.
Not like the war. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a clip yesterday. It was the White Sox when they were experimenting with shorts.
Yeah.
A few years ago. A few decades ago.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a bad idea. Like, remember in A League of Their Own when they made them more skirts and then they had the big raspberries? You know that one raspberry, I read about this, was real? Like, from the actress, whoever it was, like literally like slid, and that was, they didn't have to make up or do the makeup or anything. We'll take a break. What did Jay say? He's an incompetent billionaire. That's what got him. When we come back, Niners at 9. Nick Bosa, where did he end up in the top 100? Because we got the final 10 revealed, or was he in the top 100 at all? We'll take a break. Find out on your home of the Niners, Sactown Sports.
How many national TV games will the Kings have this season? Will the Beam Team get the respect and schedule they've earned? When the NBA schedule drops, we've got you covered on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Where are you on your financial journey? Wherever it is, Safe Credit Union has a checking account made just for you. Jason Ross here, and I can tell you with 4 different safe checking account options, one is sure to fit your needs. And with easy, secure, and personalized service to early paydays, overdraft protection, and exclusive members-only perks, safe checking accounts truly put you and your financial future first. Find a safe checking account you will love at safecu.org/checking. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The sack, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line, quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Grichuk has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis, the throw home, swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at SactownSports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to PowerCopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests can view via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. That was Terry Collins.
Yes. And the Metropolitans.
Yes. You got me in the jackpot. That hurts.
You know what? You showed me the clip. The umpire was pretty good there.
That's why I wish more of this was mic'd up, because you get a chance to understand exactly.
But he let him vent,
right.
Let him get it all out.
Get it all out.
We're in a tough spot here too, basically.
There's a lot more. Sometimes they know that the manager just they can tell when a guy's looking to get tossed and when he's not. And sometimes these guys want to get tossed and they got to get it all out. And there's a respect there where the ump understands it. The managers understand that. You always think it's just going to be they're yelling and screaming at each other. I hate you too. No, that's not what it is. Yeah. It's you're better than that. No, I'm not.
I'm trying, all right.
Doing the best you can. The NFL.com's top 100. We've been going over that the last couple of weeks. The top 10 finally revealed, if you will. Chris Jones, the Kansas City Chiefs, 15.5 sacks last year, matching his career high. So he's not just a one-trick pony. This is a good player, good enough to be number 10. How about Micah Parsons? Just defensive player of the year runner-up in both his 2 seasons. That's pretty darn good.
Very effective.
So number 9, no doubt there. We get to our first top 10 quarterback. Josh Allen. I think that's about right there. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. A little surprised.
At number 7, I agree. Joe Burrow, number 6. Travis Kelce, number 5. Nick Bosa.
There he is.
Number 4, your reigning defensive player of the year, 6th in MVP voting, league leader in sacks.
And this is, again, like you said, voted by players. Okay.
Number 3, Jalen Hurts.
Surprised me.
A little bit.
I think that's high.
He was the runner-up in MVP voting.
Yeah.
He did lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this, though. He is the second highest rated quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Carmichael Dave, you have 32 starting quarterbacks in front of you.
Mahomes won.
Okay. Are you taking Jalen Hurts number 2? Because I'm not.
No.
And I like him.
I'm probably taking Josh Allen second.
Okay.
I mean, it's Josh Allen 1 year of Aaron. I mean, we're just doing for 1 year. So Aaron Rodgers
very highly, yeah. And I think he was 50th on this.
Jalen Hurts is also, he's young.
Yeah. It's like, are you doing this for 10 years or are you doing it for like this season? Yeah. Anyway.
Number 2, Justin Jefferson.
Surprised me a little bit too. He's really good.
He's insane. I mean, he's a video game, but my goodness gracious. He is 6th and 7th, respectively, all time for receiving yards and receptions for a single season. 1,809 receiving yards, 128 catches. He had one of the greatest seasons by a wide receiver ever. Was 5th in MVP voting, which was the highest for a non-quarterback this year. And number 1, no doubt about it, no question, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Interesting couple of takeaways from you in the top 10. No running backs. Also, if you count Tyreek Hill, who's no longer a Chief, but if he was at one point, you'd have 4 Kansas City Chiefs in the top 10 with a defensive player, Chris Jones, Kelsey, Mahomes, and then obviously Hill was a Chief a couple years ago. But impressive. List is pretty good. Again, this is the players list, so a little surprised by Jalen Hurts at 3 and Justin Jefferson at 2, but obviously they belong way up there, but just a little surprised by that.
Yeah, I am too. And, look, these things are subjective, but remember, they are voted on by players, and I think that matters to a point. A lot of times players don't do well at voting, like, look at all-star voting, et cetera, et cetera. But in this case, you're talking about a number of NFL players that voted on this. I don't have look, there's some nitpickings there, sure.
Right. Always would be.
But, George Kittle at number 19, Max Crosby 17, Trent Williams 14, Fred Warner 15. I threw Max Crosby in there just because he's a Raider. But
yeah, Niners had 3 in the top 15.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is a stacked team. The Niners are.
Yeah.
But who's the number 1 guy in the league? Patrick Mahomes.
And that one, it's hard to compare positions, but a quarterback, everybody would take him number 1.
Yeah.
So then is a quarterback, like who's number 2? Justin Jefferson. Is Jefferson that much better at his position than Mahomes is at his? I don't know, but people want Mahomes. It's the most important position. But is he better than, Trent Williams? And how do you measure a left tackle versus quarterback? Micah Parsons, Bosa versus Mahomes. Bosa's the highest rated defensive player. So tough to do, but I have no argument with Mahomes at all at number 1.
Well, and that's an interesting concept in itself, which is, okay, this guy's the best offensive tackle in the league. This guy is the best quarterback in the league, best wide receiver, best run. Okay. I'd be really curious. Let's let coaches do a poll.
Yeah.
And vote on, you're drafting a team and you can have the best player at a position. Rank those positions for importance all the way down to kicker.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure across the board, unanimously, quarterback's number 1. Is it left tackle number 2?
It's obviously not running back.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Is it safety? Linebacker number 3?
Edge rusher, corner.
Edge would probably be number 3.
I know you're making the argument for total. Can we say, at least on offense, is it safe to say in 2023, running back is the least most important position on offense? And I'm counting the whole line, by the way.
No.
What would be, though?
Oh, are you saying you're counting the line as one person? Okay.
I guess.
Are you okay? Are you counting wide receiver the same way?
Sure.
I'm asking, or what I'm saying is, can I take the third receiver out and say the running back's more important than him, or the second receiver?
Just overall positionally. So no, it's not.
It's receivers, running backs.
And lastly, where are you putting fullback?
Well, I think like 2 teams use it.
Yeah, Niners are like, who else uses a fullback?
The Ravens used to with use check, but I don't know. Very few teams do.
Is use check the only fullback in the NFL? Like, name your top 3 fullbacks in the NFL. Go.
Kyle Juszczyk, and Mr. Juszczyk.
Yeah,
that was Kyle. Probably. That's tough to say, dude. I think that running back is becoming so forgotten.
Make an argument,
underrated.
Not fullback. Make an argument for another position over running back.
I don't know enough of the metrics or the Yeah, they all work together. But could you say right guard? But I don't know.
But he's counting offensive line as one.
As one. Okay. Well, you need them.
Okay, let's not count offensive line as one.
Then it's gonna be like I'll take him over. Like you can put in a crappy right guard or something, and give me a Derrick Henry. I don't know. Me a dumb. Well, maybe not a center.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy in 2023 we're having this the right guard is in the same conversation as the running back now?
Well, I also find it interesting that the Kansas City Chiefs have bookended the top 10 with Chris Jones at 10 and Mahomes at 1. But they also, up until last year, had another member of the top 10 and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
What we don't talk about enough is why are running backs getting so killed? But Tyreek Hill went to Miami. What did they replace him with? They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 player. He's the
Valdez, Scantling, and all that. Yeah, just
isn't that because Patrick Mahomes, though?
That's what I'm saying.
So Mahomes is making the receiver.
That's what I'm saying. So if we're sitting here having this argument in football about how running backs are plug and play, get them on a rookie contract, and if you have enough of a good team around them, don't worry about it because you'll be fine. Well, why aren't we having the same conversation about receivers?
It's fair.
Why is it that you could lose arguably the best receiver in the game? It's either him, Chase, or Jefferson, probably.
Matthew Henson on the YouTube chat saying T has tight end over running back.
He says tight end is more important than
running back.
I don't know, man. That the problem is that gets really, really detailed because I would put running back over tight end if I have a really good offensive line.
Yeah, I think it's like if you've got a really good use check. It's the perfect example.
Yes.
Like fullback's useless. Well, no, not him because he's really good and they utilize him.
That's right.
So then he all of a sudden becomes very valuable.
He's an offensive lineman basically in the run game.
Yeah.
And George Kittle is an extra offensive lineman for a very good offensive line. It's a reason why you can line Debo up in the backfield or Brandon Ayuk and run those little end around whatevers.
And someone might say, oh, if they're just a blocking tight end, they're not that fast. Well, there's probably a reason they're just a blocking tight end. They're really good at it. And so if that's helping your run game or your pass protection, it's a tough one.
Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdez Scantling, and Sky Moore, those are your Chiefs receivers. Now, you're cheating a little bit because you also have, Travis Kelce was in the top 10 too, correct?
Yeah.
So the Chiefs almost had, they could have had, when they had Tyreek Hill, that's
right,
4 of the
4.
top 10.
Yeah.
Woof, meow.
Right.
And Travis Kelce is obviously a cheat code. But you're giving Patrick Mahomes, you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, but when you look at the rest of those skill positions, Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon, Kadarius Toney, Richie James, MVS, Sky Moore. Put those guys on the Jets with Sam Darnold and see how that works out.
Right.
And so wide receivers should be getting as much crap as running back then because I like that argument, and you're telling me for you, wide receiver is more important than running back? Because I think that's a great argument too. Because, your best wide receivers can make that. The Jeffersons, the Chases.
So the best running backs.
You handed off. How many times did we see with the Niners who didn't even – this is pre-Christian McCaffrey. And Kyle Shanahan's favorite thing, middle of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, and we're going to knock out an 8, 9, 10-minute drive.
Right.
And just – 12 yards per drive, first down. We're just going to totally smash your defensive. We're going to just put your defense to sleep. We're going to end the game right now. It's almost like bringing in a closer.
Yeah.
Can't really do that with wide receivers.
Nope.
Wide receivers are more bailout than anything else. Running backs
touch the ball more.
Yes, absolutely. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go around the sports world. Some things that happened yesterday. College football. World Series champion Houston Astros had a trip, and what the heck are Cal and Stanford going to do? We'll do that next.
Need the latest on your Kings?
Nerlens, in all fairness, I mean, he can protect the basket. Very unselfish player.
Looking for the freshest scoop on the Niners?
Trey Lance not being on the roster is an option for them. Why else would they have 4 quarterbacks around? But I don't think it's the most likely.
Want to find out the latest on the MLB playoff race?
I think Bailey has kind of been the glue to put this all together because you got to have an elite catcher to make a run at a late playoff push.
For all that and more, check out SactownSports.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Maybe tomorrow we'll bring my kid in. I got to do that before next week because he's got to be on. I got to be on a. This Sunday we take all the electronics now when I go to bed. They all.
What do you mean?
Well, the kid electronics. Phone and tablet, whatever, like we got to put them on a bedtime because school starts a week from Thursday for us.
So they can do it now, but not.
Yeah, we told them they have till Sunday.
School starts on Thursday.
That's what I'm saying. For our kids, it's a week. It's a week from tomorrow is when our school starts. Their school, I should say. So I know, right? So
family rule is what?
Yeah, family rule. They've had free reign all summer. For the most part. And then family rule is Saturday nights, the last night with electronics. And then starting Sunday, when I go to bed, I collect phones, tablets, all that, and they all charge on my little thing in my bedroom.
Does your bedstand look like Starship Enterprise?
It actually really does, dude. It honestly does. And I've got chargers all over the place and stands and all that. And so that they know. And then I'm like the three-headed dog in Harry Potter, like guarding them.
Jay, do you find it ironic that Dave's the gatekeeper of social media? And
I was going to say, the one who abuses screens, social media,
right.
all things digital is the one doing the gatekeeping.
It's the I learned it from watching you.
Isn't it the do as I say, not as I do?
Yeah, rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah.
But also, I would counter with this.
I'm the dad. That's why.
Exactly, because I said so.
Yeah.
But I would counter with this, and this is why I'm open with the kids. I know they see that, and it's like, look, number one, I do it because it's my job, and I try not to smile, but But also, if anyone knows the dangers, it's me.
Yeah.
Like it's like not to compare that. Well, it is an addiction, so I can't compare it to addiction. But look, take a drug, take alcohol, whatever it may be. You got an addiction. You want to make sure you know all the warning signs, all that stuff. So plus, and I've said this from the beginning. My kids know this. They're 15 and 14, soon to be 16 and 15. I've always told them, your phones and your tablets belong to me. I bought them. They're mine. I'm loaning them to you. You get the privilege of borrowing my phone and my tablet, but they're mine. And just to be clear, there's no expectation of privacy. I will grab your phone or computer at any point, and I will look through it until my heart's content. If I ever grab your phone and I can't get in it because the passcode, I'm keeping your phone for a while. They
broke the rule.
They understand that. There's no expectation of privacy. And if you're a parent and you think that's too harsh, well, I can tell you the Houston Astros visited the White House yesterday. And it's always weird. I mean, we're sitting here and I know schedule is a lot of it. We're sitting here in August.
Yeah.
And last year's champions go to the White House.
They got to fit it in when it's right.
Do their thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was cool. And the president got up and said, congratulations, Chiefs.
Oh, didn't he have a funny line about Dusty Baker or something like, a lot of people said you were past your prime. I know a little something about that.
As he's facing the other way eating an ice cream cone. It was fun.
So you did see it.
I did see it, as a matter of fact. It was fun for all.
What kind of ice cream?
Meanwhile, somebody's over there banging a trash can in the corner.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing. The Astros were up there getting presented some years. Someone just banging a can.
Instead of a jersey, that's a trash can.
That's a big
Boo! They get booed.
Presents it with, if Joe Biden presents them with like a stick and a trash can,
so good.
Do any of them laugh, or do they all get super offended?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be offended, but they should have laughed.
Okay, how does Jose Altuve react?
He doesn't take off his suit because of the tattoo. It's brand new. They did it to themselves.
Joe Biden just puts his hands on his hips and goes, "Why are you offended?" Just kneels down,
trying to tear his suit off.
Come here. We're just having fun. Everybody, relax. Save your letters. Cal and Stanford are going to talk to the ACC. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I have no love for or hate for Cal and Stanford, but I do respect the fact that they're both colleges first.
Yeah.
They're Stanford. I think honestly, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, Stanford probably has the best athletic system set up top to bottom. When you consider their requirements, what they go through, and the fact that they're pretty competitive in pretty much every sport and dominate a lot of those lower sports.
Yeah. I hope you're right in what you said earlier in the show, that maybe just this chaos, we're going to still have to go through it, because this will be the last year of the Pac-12 as we know it. And then, Oklahoma and Texas are changing. There's other, schools that have already announced these changes.
Yes.
But I hope this chaos over the next year, 2 or 3, turns it into something more finite that everybody kind of goes, all right, that makes some sense now. Because this just doesn't make sense. Now, it's not one of those things to me that I go, I don't like change.
Right.
Keep it the way it is. History, tradition. This isn't that argument to me. It's why? Like, what are we doing? This doesn't,
upside.
It doesn't seem to make sense to me. And specifically they're from the Pacific Coast Conference to the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Not great.
It's, it's randomly, the equivalent is, the Knicks want to move to the Pacific Division. Yeah. They want to be with the Kings and they do it.
You and I are old enough to remember when New Orleans and Atlanta were in the NFC West.
Yeah. But, at least the league was behind it.
Sure.
They tried to do the redirect and realignment. This is just like, we're the Bengals. We're going to play in the NFC next year, and we're moving to join the Bears because.
You know what? You know who college football needs? Just bear with me here, because love him or hate him. You know who would be a really good new commissioner?
I don't even know who you're going to say.
Bring in Dana White. Because part of the reason why MMA is so dominant, UFC is so dominant in that world, is that there's no alphabet organizations.
Yeah.
The best play the best. He understands the basic concept of, let's put these compelling matchups together. Let's build up the storylines, and let's sell it to people. He's a modern day P.T. Barnum. Put Dana White, who is a huge boxing guy, by the way. That's how he started out. Let him form a committee. And go to all the colleges. We talked about this earlier, Jason. I do believe that this is the storm before the calm. Let or somebody like him. I'm joking, but go in and say, guys. Well, first off, here's how I do it. I'm going to do it. I would have some secret meetings, under the table meetings with the NBCs, ESPNs, the big hitters, Amazon, Apple, and say, look, I'm just gauging interest here. If I was able to present this to you, what kind of contract are we looking at? Let me get some consensus numbers. Let me jack those up a little bit. And let's say, I don't know what the number would be. I don't know, but let's say it's 10 years, $100 billion that you own the brand new college football Premier League, top of the pops, 32 teams, all in one massive super league that play only each other. No maybe they get one non-conference game a year to play an old rival or something, but it's a super league. And then at the end of it, it's an 8-game season or 9-game season. And then you get into the super league playoffs.
How do you pick the 32?
So I think there's got to be some sort of promotion relegation. I do. Not necessarily classic soccer style, but there's got to be a way where you have these lower tiers. So you have your big skies or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you win your conference winners, they play, maybe your secondary national champion or your conference, whatever it may be, they go up, and then the bottom 4 drop down, and you do have a way to get into the Super League. And by the way, that tournament is also scheduled. Imagine what's on the line if you're whatever state university, and you're playing Ding Dong McGillicuddy U, and the winner gets to play in the Super League next year. And that means a revenue share. Now, all of a sudden, where you're getting this influx of $190 million because you're now in the Super Conference, and you're going to be on TV everywhere, and your recruits are going to go through the roof, and you're going to be able to build a new training ground and get those 5 stars and all that. And you just sold arguably the second most valuable sports property, organized it, set it off, and oh, by the way, you're taking 10% off the top, you're subsidizing your lacrosses and rowings of the world, and you're also flying these guys on private jets, your NBA in them, your NFL in them.
Yeah.
What's the downside compared to the alternative?
The alternative is chaos and a mess.
We'll take a break. That's your nickname. Chaos.
Yes.
Jason Chaos Ross. Giants, Angels, Rangers, A's, and the A's have their work cut out for them. We got to go streaking too as we look and see and tell you what to watch next on Sactown Sports.
The Kings preseason schedule is out, and Sactown Sports has you covered. Preseason stops include Vancouver, Anaheim, San Francisco, and Sacramento, with matchups against the Raptors, Lakers, Warriors, and Jazz.
Monk in attack mode, drives inside, right to the rim. And that's the dagger right there. I think the Warriors fans sensed that with that breakdown, the Warriors look like a defeated ball club.
Catch all the action on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We have a comfortable start to your Tuesday thanks to a ramp up in that Delta breeze. It's that steady breeze today. It'll keep temperatures down. Expect daytime highs upper 80s to about 90 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Enjoy the prime grilling season today with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life and your choices with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age, but there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
True fans of the game should pick up a copy of The Match, the day the game of golf changed forever, written by Mark Frost, who also wrote The Greatest Game Ever Played. The book was published more than 10 years ago, but it tells the true story of a remarkable round of golf played by legendary professionals Ben Hogan and Byron Nelson against two of the sport's greatest amateurs, Ken Venturi and Harvey Ward. Hogan, who avoided playing with amateurs at all costs, was hoodwinked into playing by Eddie Lowry, Francis Ouimet's diminutive caddy, who at that point was a successful San Francisco businessman. The match, with its many wagers, was set to be played at Cypress Point Club, and although the exciting 18 holes unfold with each turn of a page, it's the backstory of each of the players that makes the words come alive. My friend Ken Venturi, the last survivor of that foursome, told me it was a dream match, and so good even fiction couldn't touch it. It's a fabulous read. For Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Tuesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Giants were in desperate need of some runs heading into the top of the ninth, and rookie Patrick Bailey helped out.
The set, the pitch, swing, and there's a liner along the left field line. Quickly in and diving, and he can't get to it, and it goes by him. Pritchett has butchered that play. Sable scores around third. Davis to throw home. Swing! He scores standing up.
The Giants went on to beat the Angels 8-3. LA is now 0-7 since the trade deadline. Will Brock Purdy get any playing time during the 49ers' first preseason game this Sunday against the Raiders? We have all that and more up right now at SactownSports.com. And all of our 49ers training camp coverage is brought to you by Power Business Technology. Call them for all your business copier needs at 1-844-POWER-BZ or go online to PowerCopiers.com. And as a reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
Just one more note, Jason, on the college football thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Power 5 conference revenue for last year.
Okay.
Big Ten, $845 million. SEC, $802. ACC, $617. Pac-12, $581. Big 12, $481. Napkin math here, that's something like $3.2 billion per year for college football.
Yeah, just college football.
It'd be interesting to talk to Kelly Brothers about that tomorrow at 7:30.
Can we get him?
I think we can.
Can we?
I think we can book that.
Are we able to announce this then?
Yeah.
Are we okay to announce this tomorrow? At what time, Jay?
Oh no, never mind. It's a month from. That's a tease.
The only good thing about that is Jay's currently training someone right now. Super rad example, Jay Mars.
Yep, that's me.
But are we allowed to talk about it?
I don't know. I just did. So.
Okay. Joining us this season in time for our football coverage, I think a lot of you know one of the things I like talking about the most, Jason, I think you love this too, is the business of sports. Yeah. Pretty much everybody who comes on to talk sports business on this show, it was Mike McCann who used to come on during the Kings days. He's now like one of the preeminent sports business guys. Just, all he does is like lecture at Harvard now.
Right.
He went on to be a superstar. Emily Campagno came on for a long time with us to talk sports business. Former Raiderette, put herself through law school, is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. She is now a superstar on Fox News, doing a bunch of shows out there. Still keep in touch with her. She's awesome. So Kelly Brothers, though, you may remember him, longtime Channel 3 anchor, KCRA. And Kelly does a lot of stuff in the financial sector now and has for a long time. Kelly's going to join us every week during the season to, talk sports business. Yeah. And this is a topic I think that would be a lot of fun. This is going to be one of those segments that Jay is excited for now, but he's going to learn to hate this segment because trying to get me to stop talking to Kelly Brothers and go to break on time
will be a difficult task.
A very difficult task.
Hey, you want to go streaking?
Yeah, let's go streaking.
Let's try that again.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking!
Are we streaking, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Dave, you were at 2 in a row.
I was.
And you said, you know what? I was so impressed by the Philadelphia Phillies fans' gesture to Trey Turner. He got emotional. I think you got caught up in that. You said, I'm going to pick Trey Turner because Philly's treating him well. His mom got emotional.
Everyone got
Did you see he got a billboard thanking Phillies fans?
Did he really?
He did.
That's such a cool story.
It's
a great story.
Good. So we need to get you a hit with Trey Turner. You didn't get a hit, but you did not get a hit, if that makes sense. They didn't play.
Hey, all right.
They got rained out.
I wanted to hit the button.
Postponed.
Standing ovation, Trey Turner. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
So you do have the option, but we kind of generally keep him going forward today for you.
Uno, dos, Trey Turner.
Okay.
Give me Trey Turner.
I was at 3, trying to get to 4.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I believe, this year, I went with Mookie Betts.
How is it the first time you've picked Mookie Betts all year?
It's probably a bad decision because, Jay, I think you've picked him quite a lot, and I think every time you pick him, he hits a home run. True. So I picked him, and you know what? He hit a grand slam for me.
Hey, Mookie Betts. As a matter of fact,
Let's hear it. Does Charlie Steiner describe it?
I hope it is.
Lugo on 3-0 to Mookie Betts with the bases loaded and a fly ball to left center field. It's deep. It's on its way, and it's a grand slam home run for Mookie Betts. Down 5-0. They lead 8-5.
Was it an 8-run home run?
It was.
Yeah.
You've never hit an 8-runner?
No.
You know what Charlie should have said? Come here, baseball, and get you whooping. Shout out to Evander Holyfield.
All right, so I'm now at 4. And Jay Mars.
Jay Mars getting off the schneid.
Yeah, because he was at 0. So he was trying to start when he was picking on those Oakland A's with a former Oakland A, Marcus Semien. No.
Oh, you suck.
I still disagree with this. I don't think it's appropriate. There was no streak.
What's up?
There was no streak.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's more like
he's attacking your streak, though.
No, my streak was over. My streak of picking Marcus Semien to get a hit versus the A's is over.
Well, you can do it again today, Jay. We now know that Davis can stick with Trey Turner.
I am.
I'm going to go back to this guy let me down the last time, but he's not going to today. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Junior.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get to 5 with him. Jay, trying to get to 1. Who you going with?
So if I go with Semien, is it double or nothing?
I don't know. You can try again, though.
Okay, I guess you can,
Yeah,
right?
he's got a clean slate.
But do I get 2 hits?
No.
Well, then screw that. I'm going with Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. Let's see. Is Mookie Betts a good pick today? Oh,
Wait, I don't think the Dodgers play.
Oh, they are. I think they
Yeah,
are.
they're playing.
They're playing the
It's Tuesday.
Diamondbacks today.
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
And let's see. But is he going up against somebody tough? Yeah, he's going up against Brandon Fads.
Who?
Brandon Fads.
That's a typo.
PFAADT.
That's like when you just like your elbow slips on the keyboard.
That's not a real name.
It's what sounds like the noises after you eat a bowl of chili.
Hey, what did you fat?
That's actually what it sounds like. 0-5 with a 7.11 ERA.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mookie Betts.
Yeah, he's getting all the hits.
Oh, Brandon Fat. 6'4", 220.
You're way too happy that you stumbled across that.
It's my favorite name. Hey, Brandon. Back to you.
You got to get that jersey.
I totally get it. Number 32, Brandon. 0-5, 7-11.
He's the reason why the Diamondbacks have fallen off a cliff
It
since
really
earlier
is.
this season.
It really is. So you're going with who?
Ronald Acuna Jr.
And you're going with Mookie?
Because he's batting against who?
Brandon. 7-11 ERA, 0-5. PFAADT.
Yeah.
Fat.
That's fat.
That's what if it's like, you know what, though? I'm going to be really disappointed. We need to actually find the pronunciation, because what if it's like Brandon Fought? Like it's pronounced fought. But like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's just a classy way to say fat.
That's not fair.
Also,
right?
Also,
don't ignore me.
A classy way to say what?
Fat.
Fought. That's fought. That's a past tense for fight. Either way, guarantee you, this kid, how many times did he have to correct the spelling on his last name growing up?
Yeah.
Nobody gets
Growing up. Literally,
Always.
we're doing a segment on it as adults.
Yeah. They typed out his jersey on the back, and he was like, that's not right.
Get a Brandon Fat jersey. PFAADT. Do you think they even?
Yes.
$149.99. No, thank you.
The price is fat.
Yeah, that's for Fanatics, but I can get free returns for $365.
Ah, there you go.
So
So just wear it when you go to the D-backs game this year.
I mean, come on, that'd be kind of a nice jersey. People are like, what? Who's that jersey?
Oh, it's not a typo.
It's not a typo. It's Brandon Fat.
Interesting.
When are you going to the game behind the dish?
It's a
We're
great
running
question.
out of days.
Yeah, it's a great question, Jason. Let's see if that's what my wife wants for, because I got away with that being a birthday present for her last year. She asked me what I want for my birthday this year.
And you not to go to IKEA?
Oh, you know what I asked for? I asked for a industrial. I asked for a popcorn maker.
Of course. How did I know? Jay, like you already knew it was going to be a kitchen gadget.
Of course.
Well, what else is it? What else?
Don't you already have a popcorn maker?
We have a couple. I mean,
But not this
I have
one.
the little microwave one. You just put it in the Tupperware and the lid on, and you put it in for quick popcorn. And then I have the stir crazy one with the little spinny. Right?
So what do you want now?
But the one that tastes the best is when my wife literally makes it in a pot.
Yeah.
Just sits there and swirls it by hand constantly and does all that. No, man, I want, because when I went on that England trip, we stopped in Maine, and at the little airport there, they had one of the, and I wrote down the brand and all that. Dude, I'm telling you, it was like, just to have that on demand, and plus it's the ambiance too. You know what I'm saying?
Ambiance.
Well, it was either that, or I thought about getting a, because I want to do these in the garage where our little theater is. I thought about doing a hot dog roller.
Oh my gosh.
But then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm never going to use a hot dog roll. Who's going to use
you
that?
buy these gadgets and use them twice.
That's exactly.
Okay, most cases you're wrong. I will admit.
Wrong?
Most cases you're wrong.
Was it 3 times?
I use a lot of them. A lot.
Where are they all?
Well, like for.
Yeah, you have to have the biggest kitchen in the world.
Is that why you bought the other house?
It's not entirely untrue. But honestly, you know what was a huge flop? The Yonanas. Still haven't used it.
What's a Yonana?
Remember the Yonanas was the machine I got, and you put the frozen fruit in and it makes soft serve?
Didn't you want a soft serve machine?
Yes, I wanted a soft serve machine.
This one, but then you want a different one?
The soft serve, okay.
Aren't you still trying to get your soda dispenser too?
She TD'd that one. That's not going to happen.
Well, if you got the popcorn maker, you've got to get the soda machine.
I originally wanted a
Yonanas.
Well, then you have to get the hot dog roller too.
That's even I know that's dumb. But I wanted a.
That's where we draw the line of dumb.
You want to know what I originally asked for? I know we got to take a break. I wanted one of those Euro machines.
Yeah.
That spins the Euro cone. You slice it off. But then I looked up. Euro cones are like $80, and it feeds like 100. How often am I really going to use it? So
like all the other gadgets, you're not.
Have you worn your spikes for your lawn lately?
No, I did. It worked last year. It did. No,
last year.
Here, this one.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what I asked for. See, a little. It's just like it doesn't work on the radio.
Looks super convenient. Like you store it somewhere.
Yeah,
privately.
It looks like you'd use it once and then realize it's like too much to clean and it's too much to get started, and then you'd be over it and you just go back to your like $20 popcorn maker from Amazon.
I think you use it several times, but
no.
For parties.
Him?
You're a Debbie Downer today. Okay?
How's the pastrami slicer?
Oh, I use that enough.
What about the griddle in the backyard?
Oh, the Blackstone. I use that all the time,
okay.
bro. I'm about to rent do you know they rent? Yeah, it's your fault. They rent because there's no more Benihanas. They rent the Benihana chefs now. They'll come out and they'll.
You're renting a Benihana chef
100%. You want to
for your birthday?
You guys want not for the birthday?
No,
but
yes.
for later this month, you guys want to come over and see No,
yes.
Benihana chef comes out. And
this will finally be the way you get me to your house.
They do the whole thing because I've been trying so hard. They do all the Benihana stuff with the egg and the volcano.
I want to see him make popcorn.
Probably like on the spatula.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll cross over with Whitey and Watkins next.
It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. Golf to Go. Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross.
What is going on? Yeah. No Whitey nor Watkins?
I would ask their producer where they're at, but he's out of the room.
Are they having some sort of emergency?
What do you want to bet they're in Brian's office?
I thought he was sick. Is he here?
He's here.
Oh.
Well,
He
not where
recovered fast.
All right. Well, we'll give him a second.
Imagine not wanting to promote your content.
Yeah. Like, are they just, did Whitey finally say, I'm tired of hanging around that talentless ass clown Dave? I think that's what happened.
Are you calling him?
Call Chris. At least he picked up last time.
Oh, I hear rumbling in the hallway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you hear rumbling?
I thought I did. Well.
Okay.
Oh, I hear Chris's laugh.
I just heard Chris's cackle.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. There they are.
All right. There it is.
Right. Good to see you. All right. While they're getting set up, let's play a game of and don't answer, but let's just see if you both can get it. What member of the station staff saw me downstairs, gave me a once-over, said, looking good, nice shoes?
I know.
Do you know who it was?
Yeah.
It's not really tough, is it? Yeah, I got the once over and then the looking good. Nice shoes, David.
Any comments on your hair?
No, because I think he didn't like it. Anyways, Whitey and Watkins here.
Besides that's not really his hair.
No, it's a wig. Just to finish up on that, I won't plug them because they're not a sponsor, but we're talking about Rent the Benihana Chef, right?
Yeah.
$60 per adult is I don't know if that's a good deal or not. Minimum 10 adults, so you had six hundo. But
wow.
Yeah, but I think that includes everything, like food.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would have to.
Why
right?
are you counting the people that they're They
just come out to your house and use your Blackstone, or maybe they bring their own.
Okay.
And they Benihana for everybody, and then I don't know. That does seem like a little expensive, doesn't it?
To me.
Oh, so you basically invited us over, and now you're not going to do it?
I hadn't reassearched the whole thing. It's that
do we have to pay?
My sister. Well, yeah, I'll charge you. I'm going to charge you all. I'll be fair. I'll charge you $75. What did we have a question for Whitey earlier? It was something about. I don't remember. Whoa, yeah. Logan Webb said that Shohei Otani is the most talented baseball player of all time. Are you guys
talented?
Yeah.
One of the things coming up on the show today, my argument that he cannot be the greatest ever. It's taking on a lot of water these days.
Yeah.
Huge hit. My argument that he cannot be
is
taking a huge hit. That's coming up today.
Did he hear your argument and he's kind of taking offense to it?
Did he call you?
Yes, I'm sure. By the way, hello to the young man who I led in the building today. He's probably regretting it. It's like, man, I shouldn't have gone in there.
Jay earlier in training him gave away a guest we have coming up a month early. So that was kind of cool.
No. That's called a good front sell.
Whitey, is buying yourself an industrial popcorn maker for your birthday, is that a good or bad purchase in your opinion?
It's just pathetic.
Thank you.
Good or bad.
Jay, I told you. So don't. Yeah. So Jay's thinking of getting one for his birthday.
It's just kind of.
I told him not to. Like, who would do that, right? Chris Watkins.
That's a grandpa move.
You guys are having a draft today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch.
Nice.
I watch your stuff. You're gonna draft like it.
Yeah, I was like,
you forgot?
No, yeah, I did.
It's like a draft of like. Is it basically like players you don't remember playing for a team that they play for?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, there's throwback jerseys, and I call them throw-up jerseys.
Yes.
Just like Jerry Rice and the Seahawks. Oh, I don't feel so good.
not
that kind of thing.
What was it? Hakeem with the Raptors?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Weird one.
Shaq with.
Can I tell you who I'm thinking of taking with the
everybody
first
else.
pick, but don't tell Chris?
No.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Tony Parker, Charlotte.
Oh, that's a good one. That made my list.
Wow, really?
For sure.
That was.
I mean, I feel like there's just one number one overall pick, and it's not particularly close.
No,
but
absolutely.
I'll leave that to you guys.
Well, that's too obvious. MJ?
Yeah.
Wizards?
Yeah.
You're thinking? That's not even weird when everyone knows that.
Weirder.
The good ones are when you go, oh, I forgot about that.
But does
in my opinion.
does MJ with the Birmingham Barons count?
No,
because that was
No.
like not even the same sport.
Doesn't count, David. Move on.
Do you know George Pickens, the wide receiver, right?
Yes.
His top 5 wide receivers. Did you see this? Or
Yeah, I thought he had Crabtree low.
Yeah.
I heard you. I listened to you. I heard you. Yeah.
Not great at all. All right, real quick, everybody. Today is National. Is it Mochi or Mochi Day?
Mochi.
Mochi.
Is it Mochi's.
Mochi ice cream is great.
Yeah.
Love
Right.
mochi. You ever had deep fried mochi ice cream?
No.
Oh, friend, it
Seems
is
counterintuitive.
Get a
No,
maker
it's
in
not.
that and
Want
forget
it
the
to be
popcorn
soft?
thing. Get a mochi maker.
It's
Interesting.
National Pickleball Day. Anyone play pickleball here?
Absolutely not.
I have played, but I don't play.
I feel like that's more for TV anchors and radio personalities.
Pickleball?
I haven't played, and I know that I'm wrong, but I watch that and I go,
Play
that is the
tennis.
easiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I
I know I'm wrong, but I feel like I would never lose at pickleball.
I've never played, and I feel like once I start playing, it's kind of like a rite of passage for a middle-aged man to play pickleball.
But I thought that was golf.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's quickly becoming pickleball. There's
kind of
pickleballers are taking over tennis courts all over
Yeah,
town.
and not
It's-
just oldsters.
Really?
Uh huh.
What if it's really fun?
It is pretty
just
fun.
play it.
I have to
Yeah, it's
admit,
a sport.
I think the charm of it, I think this is the way it was sold to me early on, is like you could have a grandparent play with a grandchild,
Oh,
and it'd be fair.
Yeah, it's like badminton, but
Just
more,
absolutely
a little bit more
thrash the kid.
tennis-y.
You know,
Good.
grandparent of
Yeah.
kid crying.
Play tennis. That's what I say.
International.
Nah, way too much.
It's really
movement
not.
tennis.
It's really not that much movement.
Really?
I mean, it is, but it's not like
Tennis?
overwhelmed. Like
Bless
it's
you,
not.
Chris Watkins. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with tennis, and it's dying.
It is.
It is kind of dying.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Shout out to death in tennis.
International Cat Day.
Individual.
Cat or dog?
Yes.
Cat
Dog,
or dog?
100%.
Cat or dog?
I'm bi. I like both.
Yeah, they're both great.
Cat or dog? Dog.
Yeah.
Cats are lame.
They bring their individual charms.
Oh, quick update. We got to do celebrity birthdays. Quick update on Kitten.
Love him.
Really?
Great.
Destroy anything?
No, not really. He's pretty chill, actually.
Any markings? Not on the cat, but you know.
Let's say the cat has several, but no.
Okay. And finally, finally,
Named it after Frankie Cardicelli.
finally today is sneak some zucchini into your neighbor's porch day.
You're lying.
That also sounds like an innuendo.
Doesn't
It sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah.
I snuck some zucchini on his front porch. You know what I mean?
Celebrity birthdays.
I don't think that's radio appropriate.
That's interesting.
By Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. Nothing brings, family and friends together. Like Crumble Cookies.
Have a crumble. They're so good. Well, your taste buds wish you would. Holy cookie.
Jason Ross, celebrity.
Hey,
birthday.
speaking of tennis, happy birthday to Roger Federer. My favorite tennis player of all time. Him and Boris Becker.
41.
Fed?
I'll say 40.
Say 42.
43.
40, 41, 42, 43. We do have a correct answer in there. It belongs to Jay Mars, 42.
Wow. Well done, Jay Mars.
Happy birthday
Cheating
to
again.
Anthony Rizzo.
Ah. R to the Izzo.
The Rizzo. The Hizzo for Shizzo. Anthony Rizzo.
31. That's probably too old.
I'll say 30.
29.
I'll say 32.
Wait, 30 as well or
No,
32?
32.
I got you.
That was an
30
important
dudes.
distinction because that is a win. 34, Anthony
Wow.
Rizzo.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought you were too old with your guess.
I did. Isn't that funny how that works out
Yeah.
sometimes?
Happy birthday to Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin's getting up.
Trevor's
there, dude.
dad.
Yes.
I met poor Dick Enberg in one of his last years. He goes, and coming up, the greatest reliever in Padre history, Dustin Hoffman.
Well, it's not who it was. Also, good story. 85.
88.
81.
I'll say 80.
Carmichael Dave with a win, 86.
Hey, Dave, way to go.
Dustin
I hate that.
86? He's gonna die soon.
Totally gonna
It's
die
your
soon.
go-to Hoffman film.
Right, man. But that's a bad
Hook.
one. Hook's a great choice. I'm changing my to him.
Marathon Man.
Never seen it. Honestly, never seen it. Wait, is that the one where he goes, I'm walking here?
I don't know.
No, I don't have
So you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't.
Happy birthday to Scott Stapp.
Who? Oh, him.
Creed's lead singer.
Yeah. I keep looking. Every once in a while, I go to creed.com, look for a.
What?
Look for a.
No, you don't.
I
No,
look
you
for a
don't.
reunion tour.
Literally,
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
has ever said that in
guy who
life.
just got here. It's like, damn,
Right.
that's really
You know,
bad.
I may have to leave.
Well, I always forget that creed.com is not the band. It's always a fresh surprise every time I go there. It's not, trust me, it's not the music.
He's 50.
No, he's not. He's 49.
47.
You know, their drummer went to a Florida State University.
Hey, we have a correct answer.
What?
50.
Yeah.
Whitey.
Wow, the big 5-0.
How about the Edge from you two?
Edge.
The Edge is like 62.
The wrestler?
No, you too.
Oh.
You too?
I thought it was Bono.
YouTube.com?
Every once in a while, I go to YouTube.com.
65.
No clue.
I'll go
67.
64.
We have a correct answer. It was Carmichael Dave with 62.
Oh, the Dave.
How about Steve Wilkes, 49ers defensive coordinator?
Hey. Whose wife is a Swiftie, apparently.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he did say
Oh,
that,
that's
yeah.
offensive.
56.
He's a very blitzy 54.
I see what you did there.
51.
I'll say 58.
We have a correct answer, and it's 54. Whitey Cleason.
Boom!
Come on.
You got the draft coming up.
We do.
You're
We do.
terrible. Shohei Otani take. You don't have to die on that hill.
Jim Cosmore coming up today.
Coes!
Coes! Is this Coes live from Tennessee?
Absolutely.
Oh, tell Coes I said hello and so much more. For Jay,
Don't have
for
time.
Jason, for bye-bye now.
Will Christian McCaffrey lead the NFL in rushing? Can Sacramento's own Eric Armstead bring his game to another level?
Prescott